So we are here today for one of the most interesting conferences of the year. But first of all, to stand up for the national anthem of the Zargari. Thank you so much. Okay, it's great. So, before starting our speeches, I would like to see your energy because it's morning, I know, everybody's a bit sleepy. So, how energetic we are, just can you please applaud ourselves? It's great, thank you so much. So, once I read one quote that every great teacher was a curious learner once. So, now we are here and the purpose of our conference is that may that conference spark the same curiosity in us. So we are sure it will happen because we have perfect speakers who are the expertise in these fields for many years. But before I would like to invite the esteemed Vice Rector of Azerbaijan University of Languages, dear Miss Gisela Garibova, please just warm welcome.
Thank you very much. Dear participants of this event, dear guests, dear colleagues, students, I would like to welcome you to our university, first of all, on behalf of our rector, academician Kamal Abdullayev. He is not here today for a reason that is taking him to some important event at the state level. And I would like to also welcome you here on behalf of our students and professors, on behalf of our academic staff. This is a very important event. Congratulations, first of all, on being together today. And this is our first joint let's say, project together with International TEFL Training Institute We hope it's just a starting point, and we will continue a productive collaboration together. A very important topic, and a topic that never ceases to be on the agenda. Teacher training and how we can advance teacher training with with the steps that are being taken in the changing world in various directions. So, of course, today's topic is also, as I see the program, it is mainly around how we can apply technologies, modern technologies, in our teaching activities, but also it goes, to various directions, starting from drama and teaching, grammar, beyond grammar, AI technologies. Of course, as language teachers today, we know that our profession, our art of teaching is very much interdisciplinary. So, therefore, we're here today. To discuss these the ways of integrating different spheres, different disciplines together, and to deliver it to students through this integrated way. Of course, today, modern technologies, specifically, if we go beyond that, like AI, artificial intelligence, for example, the discussions over this topic are underway. And we are looking at questions starting from whether AI is penetrating fully into our life, or sometimes replacing the major functions of our life, the very existence of our life, to how we can control and make it complementary, make our activities more effective through allowing it a complementary place. Of course, teaching is one area, especially teaching languages is one area where AI is advancing with full speed, and of course it offers benefits, it offers advantages, making the administrative load of teachers easier, and offering more wider access to be able to involve diverse social groups and disadvantaged groups. And but also we're discussing the disadvantages, possible disadvantages, probably, because the human being is able to solve all these questions, have been able to solve different issues throughout history. So it is advantages starting from ethical issues to whether we will leave place to empathy, because empathy is an important part of teaching. So, of course, these controversies have always existed, as I noted, starting from the printing of the book, the first step that the human being took towards printing of books, and throughout the history up to our days. So, of course, we, with our potential, we will cope with all these controversial issues too, and we are here to offer, to think about what we can do together, how we can collaborate together and join our forces and our strengths together. I would like to wish success to this conference, to this very important gathering, and I hope that the solutions we will come up with will be very useful, and we will be able also to implement these solutions, because sometimes the decisions are taken, but it is not very easy to implement them. I hope that we will also work together to implement the decisions made here, the suggestions made here. Thank you very much again for being together with us, and good luck.
I would like to express my gratitude, dear Miss Gisela Garibova. Before going to our remarks, I mean speeches, I would like to mention that today we have a full day and you can find the program, the agenda of the conference in your bags, near your chairs, yeah. Thank you so much. Now, I have the pleasure of inviting the CEO of ITTI Baku, dear Afar Ibrahimov, for his welcome address to the stage.
So, hello everyone, and dear teachers, friends, colleagues, you're welcome. And I am Afar Ibrahimov, CEO of ITTI Baku, also Managing Director of ITTI New York for Azerbaijan. And it's a great honor for me to stand here today and open this international conference. I don't want to speak too much. I just want to keep my speech shorter. As a company of ITTI Baku, we've been in this market since 2018. And I'm more than happy that we trained thousands of teachers and professionals so far. And they are highly hired, not only in Azerbaijan, but also in Dubai, Qatar, China, Vietnam, and even in the USA and the UK as well. That's why I always say this to my graduates. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to start to be perfect. You don't need to be native speakers to teach English worldwide. You just need to get professional trained and teach English worldwide. So, I would like to say thank you to the rector of Azerbaijan University of Languages, Professor Kemal Abdullah, for his continuous support for this conference. Also, I would like to express my deep gratitude to some of my friends from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkey, and Netherlands, Greece, and the USA as well, and some other countries. You're welcome. So I would like to finalize my speech with this short statement. Teachers change life. Education change future. Now we are here to learn, to share, and connect and inspire one another. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hojam. So now we are going to the next great speaker, dear Günel Mansimli. She is the CEO of Ant Education Center. Please welcome her.
Wow, now this is real, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest event of the city, ESL Conference 2025. Thank you very much for your participation. I want to express my gratitude to all of our friends, all the participants, educators, and the people with the united passion in education. As Mr. Afar said, we are very excited to start the conference as soon as possible. That's why we'll keep the speech short. Thank you very much for all of you for your time, for your effort, and for support. And as I stand here before you, I want to express my special gratitude to my teacher, Miss Besta Garzayeva, because that is the experience. If I stand here today, it's just because of you, because of all the experience that we learned from you. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you all of you for this opportunity. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. I would like to express my gratitude to all our speakers for their welcome address. Before I move on, I would like to invite you to dive into the great video of ITTI Baku, the highlight and let's say this way of ITTI Baku that we have come so far. So if you are ready. Thank you so much. Now we are coming to the part that sure to inspire everyone. First of all, please welcome Mr. Tacito Cury from the USA, the founder of International IT Technical Institute. So he will share his insights on AI and ChatGPT in ESL classrooms, opportunities and challenges. So it's your.
It's here. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm just waiting for my presentation. Why I'm talking. So okay, perfect. So it's been a while. I was here a few years ago, right? Time goes by so fast. It feels like it was yesterday. I haven't been here in even 24 hours, but I'm excited to see many of you and go outside and enjoy the city. So today, I actually need a, how am I, okay, good. Okay. All right, so let me see if that works. It works, perfect. All right, who is that nice young boy here? That is actually me. I haven't changed much. Don't tell me I have changed a lot. I still have the dimples. So let me tell you a little bit about myself before I started. It's a little bit hard for me to stay here in this podium that I can't move. I like to move around, but I will try to keep it here, contain myself. So I have always been involved in education. I have always liked to learn. I think it's part of my culture. So I started, back in the days, I started to go to school as an actor. I studied at acting studio, Stella Adler. I did Broadway, off-Broadway. And then I didn't realize that was a very difficult life in Hollywood or New York. And then I said, okay, I better go to college and get my college education together. So then I went to Berkeley College. I studied international business. But I said, well, New York, America is a little bit boring. I need to change. I need to see the Netherlands. I need to see Greece. So I came to Europe and then I studied. I went to school for my my master's degree in international business, and then I studied Germany, Spain, and then I got a scholarship at London Business School for management. And I said, wow, I don't seem to stop studying. And then I said, okay, then I went back to France and I studied international relations and diplomacy after surviving lots of crazy stories. And then I said, well, to top it off, is that my microphone so I can walk around? Okay, all right, good, a lot of that. All right, good, it looks a little funny, but I'll put it here, it looks funny, right? I'll try to hide it. Okay, good. All right, so then I went to, then the technology came and then I went back to school. I was already on my 5th master degree. And then I studied international business and then journalism. And I said, no, now I have to do a little bit more. Then during the pandemic, I decided to become a chef and a pastry man. And I went to the Cordon Bleu and became a chef and opened a restaurant. So anyway, today I'm an actor, I'm a journalist, I'm a diplomat, I'm a marketer, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a chef, and I'm a teacher. Basically, the message I want to give it to you, you can be whoever you want to be. It's up to you at the end of the day. But today, I am going to be the teacher, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this project here. So I was 3 years ago with Theodora, basically, in Tunisia, and we had a gather just like that, and I was explaining to them how to use the ChatGPT. And back then, 3 years ago, nobody knew it. Imagine 3 years ago, nobody knew how to use the chat. And it was a very interesting session, how to start the chat. And nowadays, who does not know the chat? Or better, who does not use the chat today? Right? It has become part of our life. Yeah, so today I put together a study together with my group from Singapore, and I have very interesting finding to share with you. So, and the question is anyone today anymore doing their homework?
This was me 2 decades ago as a student. But these days, according to a 2024 survey conducted in the US, 26% of teens aged 13 to 17 use the AI chatbot ChatGPT for their schoolwork, a twofold spike from 2023.
So in a very small, short of time, everybody started using the chat for their homework. Like, I don't remember her name, but she said it's some challenge that this brings to us. How are we going to go on with the chat or with the AI? Because people are using, whether you like it or not, it's part of today's life. And so the chat has come to stay. There's no question about it. So what are the best tools? And of course, this is a very short session. I have it here today. Unfortunately, maybe I will come back to do a little bit more training in the future. But what are the tools that we can use it to teach English and also to learn English? And here are a few. I'm sure you know some of them. Yeah. Now there was one before, right?
Before I can find out what students are using AI for, I need to know what kind of AI tools they have at their disposal. So I'm tapping on this expert. Hey friend, what are the best AI tools for English homework?
One, ChatGPT, that's me.
Oneself recommend oneself.
Willbot, word system, email writing, Google Bard.
What about math?
Photomat, Desmos, Simple Microsoft Math Solver,
Science.
Communicative, Kimlet, Lamster, the Pocket Lab.
History and social studies.
Perplexity AI, Google Scholar, ChatGPT.
How do you do everything yourself?
Great question. Well, ChatGPT can certainly help with a wide variety of tasks. Other AI tools often specialize in specific tasks that I might not handle as perfectly or efficiently in certain situations. Some AI tools, like Photomat or Wolfram Output, are specifically designed to handle complex mathematical calculations.
So there's clearly a wealth of AI tools that students can tap on for their homework.
Yeah. And as you can see, you knew some of them, right? Does anybody know any other tool, app that is really good that you can use to learn English? But anyway, I have it here, a few, I put it together. If you want, you can use your cell phone to get the QR code. And here I separated some of you guys, so you can have it you cannot really see so clear, but creativity, presentation, communication, and but you can do the QR code and you can have a few. Okay? All right, so that will be available. A file will send it in the group afterwards, so you can always have it. Okay, so you can share in the group. So, and here, so the question is here, so listen, here's the challenge. We know that AI has come to stay. We know that there are many apps out there. I showed you some. But now the question is, how much do your students use AI?
But how much are these tools actually being used? The result is all of the respondents in our survey said that they use AI for their homework. And 84% of the youngest learners, those currently in secondary school, use AI for their homework at least once a week.
So let's see this study here.
Which is why I've recruited these secondary school students. They're cluing me in on how deeply AI is shaping their grades.
So this assignment was to write about a time that you regretted.
Did you write it all yourself?
No. So here was mainly where I used AI for. I recall cautiously stepping on webpages and grasp a lot of synonyms and writing a more in-depth answer. Beforehand, what I wrote was I set onto the long body because but I felt like it's not the way I wanted it to sound. So using AI, I would say like this more
Yeah, definitely more descriptive, right?
Usually I use AI to help generate points for my English composition. After I I really start, I won't just get ChatGPT to list out some ideas just to get the pages alone.
And how would you do that?
So, for example, this assignment, people can only be happy if they feel they are treated fairly.
Do you agree?
First, I'll analyze the question. It's an argumentative question. You agree or you disagree. So let's say I agree with the question. I ask ChatGPT to give me a list of reasons that people only feel happy when they are treated fairly.
It seems like you don't write everything on your own.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's any wrong in using AI for homework?
I do use it for mother tongue, which is late, so it's sort of similar to how I use for both English and geography, but it's how our teacher has actually taught us to do it.
So your teachers know that you use AI for
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
So the
they are
teachers know.
encouraging us to use AI, so they are telling us how to do it and how we should go about using it.
So usually I'll pick out the one that I feel is easiest to elaborate on, and then like the combination. My English teacher, she often encourages us to generate ideas for composition and put it in point form because she wants us to really think with the points that have been generated and then elaborate from there. So it's still essentially our own work.
How do you use AI for your homework?
So I use AI to generate answers for my homework when I don't really want to waste my time with my effort on it.
Okay, yes.
So we actually do this one, the Chinese homework. They're actually asking us to fill in the blanks, which is, I would say, pretty simple. But I also have a lot of this, which I do not want to waste my time with these answers.
Okay, so you have efficiency.
Yeah, so we should try and do this quickly. So we'll screenshot this and then we'll put it into ChatGPT, upload the file.
Yeah.
Then give me answers, please.
Oh, it knows. So let's move on to math.
We have this worksheet right here. I find math quite hard, so I don't even really bother.
I don't really bother.
I'm gonna send it.
So when you do get your answers, you actually put it on.
Yeah.
Okay. Do your teachers know that you use AI for homework?
Yeah, they know. For Chinese, there was this one time a guy they either generate or whatever passage the answers.
Yeah.
Just show it. No, I can see that this is AI.
How did I know?
There's already AI sections.
Are there any rules that the teachers or school implement when using AI?
Actually, they don't give any rules.
There's no strict rules against it, more just slight discouragement against using it entirely for your answers.
Let's say someone copies from AI wholesale, in instances where someone was caught.
I've heard of teachers trying to take their students' response and putting it in the AI. Hey, was this made in AI? But I wouldn't say caught. They do give us a heads up. Hey, I hope you're not using it to give you answers, but using it to help you build on your answers. Our school is not really too uptight about it.
Well, definitely not copying wholesale.
The teachers will be able to tell.
I would say yes, because most of they have a specific writing style. The teachers can definitely notice the discrepancies.
Do you feel like you learn something by using an AI tool?
I don't know that I learned something because it gives me a different perspective, which ChatGPT does give very good points. I definitely will not have thought of it. In terms of content, my English comprehension marks has definitely improved.
I'd say I'm doing a lot better. English, I've come to learn to be more descriptive, thinking in ways I never would have thought before.
Do you think you learned anything from using AI for your homework?
No, not really. It doesn't really help me with my studies, but it helps me get it done. Yeah.
It may not come as a surprise that our kids are using AI to help them with their assignments. But what surprised me is that teachers know about it. And they do let the kids use such tools, though they advise against relying on it entirely.
You see, this slide is a very important slide. So first, the student, you have 3 students. 2 students said, I became more descriptive using AI. The other one said, I just want to get it done. I just don't want to waste my time. Then the other one says, is it okay? Do your teacher know? Yeah, they know. They allow? Yeah, one time they allow, the other time they don't allow. Do you see how confusing that is for educators? And then what about the school? Is there a protocol, a rule for the school? Do they allow or do they don't allow? And it's very confusing. We are at a moment in a very confusing time. If we cannot use how much we can use AI for, especially the chat. And so the thing is, I ask you the question. So in your school, have your school created a clear protocol to use AI? Do you have that, you educators? Do you have a clear protocol how to use AI? Because they're going to use, you saw a research, the research said 100% of the students are using AI. And then the girl said, oh, but there is AI detector. The teacher, they will know if they're using or not. So the thing is, what's happening right now is like this. At the end of one spectrum, you have teachers saying, go around, use it, use AI, use the chat, it's very good, it will help you. But don't copy everything, but use it. On the other side, you have other teachers say, this is horrible, don't use it. It's like a witch hunt going after, no, that's horrible, stop it. So at the end, who is right? So when I was getting prepared for this recent presentation, so I came across this year together with the Singaporean group, a AI scale, which is quite interesting here. So I'm not going to read it at all, but basically, this is a scale that people are using nowadays in schools, like you are a director or a teacher. So how much shall you allow your students to use? So there is here, the number 1 is no AI. So that's when you really wanted your students not to use AI. And then at the end, there is some AI usage. The thing is, so in this scale, you will be able to have access to the presentation afterwards. He explains the percentage and how much it is okay to use AI in your thing, in your homework, in learning English, in doing math, or in doing anything. So the conclusion here is that AI has come to stay. People are using. Don't believe that they are not using. The question is how much and how they can use. Okay, so the thing is, with this technology and AI, what really has happened is that AI has taken from the students the motivation to learn. Do you see that girl? That slide was very important because that girl, she says, I just want to get it done. I don't want to waste my time. For a student to say that is very serious. Because if the students feel they're wasting time with you, you can go home and you can look for another job, do something else, because you're not doing your job. That's bottom line, like that. And they will use the AI for everything. It's just a matter of how. So the question is, and that is why we are, as a teacher, very needed. Because we do something that AI cannot do it. And is actually one of my books I have written. So is AI going to replace real teachers? Or do we still need real teachers to learn a language? That's the title of my book. And in fact, so it's all on this slide. It's just about the motivation. That is what we as a teacher can do and AI cannot do it. AI make efficiency but cannot motivate. So I saw one of the speakers here saying, oh, I thank my teacher because I'm here because of her. That is motivation. This is gratitude. That is like I think AI would not have done whatever the teacher did for her. Right? So this is our role right now. So can teachers, so the other question is, can teachers tell if the students are using AI to do their homework? Yes? They can tell? All right, let's see it. So let's see. I have here a quiz for you. You can scan that, the QR code, and you can answer. So I have a quiz here. So I have 3 sentences. Please tell me which one was written by AI and which one was written by a human. So you can scan, you can have it on your cell phone, and you can tell me. So you can think about it. Let's see about the AI detectors. So you scan, so whoever is in the group, send it in the group, okay? So we'll get to this, and there's a prize, a ticket to New York, whoever wins. Sponsored by our group from the Netherlands. So is AI detector able to catch students?
I'm putting AI detectors to the sword. This is a typical composition question for secondary 4 students. I rotate my producer, who is chilling at home, to attempt the question with nothing but AI. Meanwhile, I'm responding to the same question with nothing but my brain juice.
See the ones that doesn't use AI?
Time to assess our work for AI use. All right, Jonathan, you have our compositions. I worked very hard on mine, while my producer didn't do any work. He just used AI for his completely, because basically the lazy student.
I see.
Okay, so let's see what you can check.
Okay, so we're going to use 2 different AI detectors. They're very popular and well known. Let's start with the first one by Dean.
I think it will be quite obvious that he used AI.
There we go, 74%, yeah, AI generated. And then if you put in through another AI detector,
0% AI.
Wow.
That is a lie. He didn't do anything. How is that possible? But that's a big difference though. 74 and 0%.
yes, that's how unreliable it is. Do you want to see how your work comes up?
Yes, okay. I feel like mine will be quite obvious that it's written by a human, just based on how I wrote it.
So we start first with GPT 0, and it comes up to 100%. Yeah.
100%.
What?
Are you sure you didn't use AI?
Jonathan, I promise you, he saw me write it. I promise you, I was writing it all by myself. I put hard work into it.
Well, let's see how it turns out on the other AI detector. 0%.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Do you see what it is? Is AI detector good? She has done her homework on her own. One detector says fully percent AI detector. The other one says no. And the girl who did it on the AI said 0 and 74. It's not reliable. You cannot tell if it is written by, and those are the best AI detector there is in the market. So imagine now imagine I'm a student, I work overnight, I work very hard, I bring my composition, I bring my work to you, and you say, oh, you use AI. I will be so dismotivated as a student, right? Imagine. So do you see that it's very complicated? And do you have the answer to my question? Did you check it? Whoever checked here. The first one and the second one was written by AI, and the third one was written by a human. So I guess maybe some of you made a mistake, or I did. So basically, the bottom line I wanted to say is that AI detectors are not reliable. So then we are left in the limbo with nothing. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, instead of this cat and mouse, oh, did you use AI? You didn't do AI. It's better that you develop a connection with your students, a relationship with your students. So for you to really monitor the process. And students, they don't. You see that the other girl, she said, oh, if I've been writing in one style and suddenly I presented my paper totally beautifully written, the teacher can tell. So it is really what is going to make the difference is not the AI detector, it is the learning process. And that's what I want to bring to you quickly, the learning process. And you guys know very well the learning process, but this is what is going to make the big difference.
The learning process. It has two critical components. The first, formative assessments, like homework. These are spread throughout the period of study to help students learn, practice, and master a subject matter. Second, summative assessments, such as exams. These are dished out at the end of the period of study to evaluate if the student has learned and how much.
This is no secret. That is very simple. The learning process.
According to this study, conducted more than a decade ago, over the course of 50 years, any amount of time the student spent on homework would have a positive effect on their exam results.
So here,
I'm setting up an experiment.
I wish I could stop, but it
All students are my subjects. Step 1, a homework assignment. I've given them 3 social studies questions designed for secondary 4 students. They need to carry out research to craft their answers to the questions.
So they are doing the homework with AI and Excel.
Desire to complete the assignment.
Using AI.
You are so calm and collected. I love it. It's the end of step 1. How challenging did you find the assignment?
I think it was quite easy. It was all right. It was quite easy.
Do you remember anything that you wrote?
Look, use AI to do your homework. Do you remember?
It's all good.
What did you learn?
What did you learn?
Did you learn anything from this assignment?
I don't remember anything I just wrote.
I don't remember anything. I just wrote.
Closed book test to see if they retain and apply anything they learned from their homework. I'm closing the book on my experiment. And now, to send these off for marking. Helping me grade the papers is Gisela. She's a specialist in humanities for secondary school students. Let's see how they did.
Actually, we've done and we didn't do very well.
Okay. But Claire got 4 marks. 4 marks?
Yes.
Wow. Claire, what I noticed is that she will also be reading, understanding.
The way that she structured the points, she developed the ideas, it's very systematic. And it's very obvious that she exercised discernment with regards to how she's processing the information. On the other hand, we see Rizan's work here, and we noticed that he didn't really answer the question. So perhaps understanding was not perfect.
Okay. And for Faith,
I would say that she might have felt too anxious about the time minute, and she couldn't deliver. She neglected the other 2 sections.
it's interesting that you said that their test answers were not fully developed, because after the research assignment, I asked them if they learned anything at all, and they were struggling to remember.
It's pretty obvious here that ultimately having the child use AI with discernment to really understand the information rather than just vomiting it out. It's important to not have it become a touch in our intellect and in terms of our cognitive processes. Yeah.
So do you see, very interesting, do you see the difference? So the 2 students didn't do very well. The other one did extremely well. They were both, the second part, all of them, they were using AI to do their homework. Do you know, can somebody tell me why one did well and the other 2 didn't? She said it. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to choose one of you. Do you know why? Because she used discernment. What is to discern? To discern is to judge what is not obvious. One student, and this is very important when we use the chat as a teacher, because the other student, they just copy and paste. The other one talk to the chat, try to understand, challenge the chat. No, I don't think it is like this, but if, put conditions. No, I don't think it is correct. She's sort of like negotiate the answers with the chat. So she had her working in the answers versus the other one that just copy and paste. So what do we need to learn? The chat or AI is not so bad altogether. It's just how we use it. And you got to learn how to use it so you can teach your students, because they're going to use it. Believe it or not, they're going to use it. So, but you need to have this understanding. So here, when AI provides a huge list of answers, some intentional students don't just take them. They read carefully, question and analyze, using AI as a springboard to enhance and elaborate on their thinking rather than simply copying. You know, that's what I'm saying. That is the real difference. Evaluate judgment, the ability to discern, critique, and decide what's valuable. So we got to learn to think with AI and not let AI think for us. This is the main difference here when using another AI. And then let me tell you something here. What's happening now? The students, they don't have time, they don't want to waste time, and they have to study. So they get around the difficulty. How do they get around the difficulty? They go on the internet. They copy and paste, wholesale, they go around the difficulty. Then they use the artificial intelligence. So they show, when they come to you, they show some understanding of their, oh look, they copy thesis. Oh, they go and they look, and they show that they understand. You believe that they understand, because, you know, it's hard to tell if it was from AI. So the teacher believes that the student is learning because he shows some results. So now we live in this stuff of pretensions, like the teacher believes that he's doing his work, the student believes that he's learning, but in reality they're not learning anything. So it's all fake, it's all illusion. You see? And so if you don't know how to use the chat or any AI tool, this is what becomes a whole illusion. And the chat has that illusion part and hallucination. Let me see it here.
Besides the illusion of learning, some AI tools are also known to project the illusion of fact. According to an OpenAI technical report released in April 2025, new models of ChatGPT are more prone to hallucinations.
Did you know that the chat has a little cuckoo sometimes? It's a, yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go study.
So she has put together research.
Questions from these books to the top AI tool recommended by ChatGPT for each subject, starting with ChatGPT itself for English.
Snapping and taking a picture. Look, I will talk to you about
it. Math, physics, and chemistry with book.
This is how the students are studying now. Take a picture, send it to the chat. Please answer. Please help me. Finished.
Now to find out if putting all these questions.
And then they send to the teacher, hey, I finished my homework.
I've asked these educators to assess the quality of my work. Well, not quite mine, but they don't know that yet. I'm about to discover my grades. Hi, Mona.
So let's see the results.
How did I do? Oh, my papers. Let's start with math first. It's actually not bad. I got 62 out of 90. Really? But I got a B3. Yep. I used to get an A. So not what I expected. So there are many characteristics. Okay. There are some formulas that you have used for me. This one, you have got the front part of it correct, but it's not really written with the correct formula.
So remember, she just copy and paste.
Derive the wrong answer.
She didn't do anything. Snap the picture, copy and paste.
Understanding how to derive the height of the pool. This question, you forgot to put a negative or positive in front of the actual numerical value. Okay.
As well as you have to show your working. Yeah.
You have to show your working.
If you get the right answer, but you do not have a working, they can actually mark you wrong for that.
Alright, so maybe we move on to chemistry. How did I do?
So you got 45.5 out of 75, so that's the B4.
This is all wrong. Why is that?
This is completely wrong. The solutions given, the actual compound is wrong. They did not even hit close to the mark. You're missing a lot of the keywords.
Right.
So you can see this, you have to be very specific as to how much concentration of the acid. Yeah, and for this one, you have to tell me what kind of energy it has to be. And
So
when
it
you
misses
talk
the
about
details.
collisions, you have to describe to me how is this collision like. This part. It's actually missing a lot of details. This diagram that you have shown is different from the ideal setup. But even so, you can see that this part, it doesn't have a stopper, which means that the gas that's produced will be able to just flow out to the atmosphere. And if you look at this question, I don't see any working at all.
Just simply copy and
Let's
paste.
move on. How did I do for my physics? How did I do for my physics?
An F.
How is that possible?
So in physics, again, just like in chemistry, it is also looking out for certain keywords. I don't see any of the keywords in this for the drawing of diagrams. The arrows are all pointed only. And even the working, I think the formula used is wrong. Yeah, okay, I see a lack of working as well.
That's a lot of wrong answers.
Yeah.
So, tell me, how did I fare for my English?
What is
English.
That's not too good. Maybe it's because you didn't really capture what the questions wanted. Okay, history. C. Only? Yeah, okay. Well, your answers were completely perfectly logical, right? They didn't capture the idea of having cross-referencing, which is a skill that the examiners want. Okay, let's take a look at social studies then. What is that grade? Social studies, unfortunately, was also a C6. Oh, yeah. Once again, for questions like these, cross-referencing is a must. In order to even pass the question,
So she didn't even analyze the answers.
I do have to tell you something though. I used AI for all of them.
But the students don't tell us. Look.
Okay. Oh, okay. What is AI? I don't know at all. These are the grades that I scored for these subjects when I gave AI free grade.
So as a summary, so what went wrong? What did she do wrong? Because, I can tell you that if you use AI in the right way, it works. You just need to know how to use it correctly. So there are a few things I can show you here that she did it wrong, and here are some of the steps. So first she snapped the picture and upload. Maybe she was shaky, maybe it was blurry, maybe when she took the picture, it didn't capture everything. So the best way to do this, it is to type it, the whole prompt, to create the whole prompt. So that's one thing to do it. I can barely read it myself here. You cannot read it, but I remember. So okay, so here, so the main question, it is to take the picture. It is not good. And then the other thing is you have to evaluate every single question. You can't just not copy and paste. You have to question the AI. Remember the other girl that did a little bit better? Because she was talking back to the AI, saying, but why is this possible? How did you come to this? So that's the whole difference here. So the idea, it's not good. And what she did was totally wrong. She just copy and paste. And that's what it should not be done. And to avoid this, I have it here. A framework that will help you to cover all these questions. But before the framework, so here, several things likely went wrong here. The photo quality, vague instructions, very important. Oh, please do that for me. Can you help me? The prompts are very, very important. Okay, and the lack of explicit prompts for working. So can you please, the workings, especially if it is a big project, the reasoning, remember to discern, you have to discern, which all leads to incorrect answers. That's why she get F in all of this. So I have an example here, just a framework. This is actually good for exact answers like math, but you can also use for English, for example. So let's just prepare a literature lesson for a 45-minute lesson on Romeo and Juliet for international students. So I use something called CRAFT. So I will just craft. C for context. I'm an English teacher preparing a 45-minute literature class for students aged 15 to 16 class studying Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. That's the context. So you have the response, you know, how you need it. So then you have the action. So generate a detailed outline for the lesson, including timing for each section and short example answers for the teacher's reference. Do you understand that working with AI is a little bit of work already? It's just not going to say, please do it for me, take a picture. It doesn't work. So this is a craft. This is a framework for you to create your prompt. Do you see what I mean? This is for more math and exact answers. I have one for English. So the format, present the lesson in a clear table format with 3 columns activity, time and objective, and then below the table include example questions and sample responses. So, and target, students age 15 to 16 with an intermediate level of English. The tone should be engaging and age appropriate. So this is the craft, right? An example. So, and then this is, for instance, this is the other one here. That's the trace. So, and this is more for English. Why? What's the difference? You can use both, but what's the difference between one and the other? The traced has something for bios. So it has some culture, some elements that the other one doesn't have it. So here you have the task. So write a 300 or 400 essay arguing whether social media does more than harm than good. It's a little touchy because it involves in personal opinion. So that's why you have the other part. So requirements, you have the requirements, you have audience, so context. So based on your essay on recent discussion in class about social media, mental health, and online interaction, you have to, you create this framework to really give examples. Look how much work that is. That's a lot of work for you to get the AI tools to work for you. So, and this is the important diversity and bias check. And that is the other one that does not have. So the 2 frameworks, I have it here to share with you. One is craft and the other one is traced. Just keep this and then you can, whenever you're talking to the chat, try to fill in the gaps for all of these steps so you'll have a better chance to do it well. So what I wanted to say a little bit in conclusion, so teachers must guide students to unlock AI full potential as a tool to enhance their learning journey while also steering them away from taking the easy way out. So we have, goes back to the motivation factor. So we have to motivate people. I mean, they're going to use AI, they're going to use all these tools. You have to become more familiarized with the tools. You need to know which tools are available because if you don't know, they will know before you. So, and some teachers, they are using AI, the chat, like the Google, right? Nowadays, it has become so popular that people don't go on Google, they go on the chat. But I have one for you. I have one here. So the chat isn't a search engine. It does give you, it does not give you facts. It gives you opinion. You know, the chat has an attitude. So different from Google. But if you want something similar, I introduce you Find. Do you know Find? Find is a mixture of Google plus the ChatGPT. So you can get the facts, you can get opinion, just like the Google, but it's called Find. So that's the newest tool. So if you wanted to use here. And the whole thing is, so how can we use AI to bring back this motivation? That is a question that you have to keep it in your mind. So now AI, just last year, it became with the images. I don't know if you saw some trends. So, because students, they don't feel the point in learning anymore. So you have to make a connection. So there was I had a student that she says, I don't want to know why I should write about this particular city in New York. I don't get along with New York. I like animals. So then we say, just let's create an image of animals in New York, and then you have to describe. So you try to bring this connection. So, and there is this, I wanted to introduce you two new apps. If you're not aware of that, unfortunately, I don't have the time to work with you on this here. There is this one called Notebook LM. Does anybody know any of this here? Yeah, so this one here, you can create podcasts, you can create dialogues. It is totally free. Of course, there is a pay version, but for instance, you can. I was testing this. So you go on the chat, teacher. You go on the chat and you say, please create a dialogue between American and British talking about accents, and that New York is much better than London. The chat creates a dialogue. Then you take this and you upload on this here, and immediately creates flashcard, creates podcasts, a real podcast. You say, oh my God. So if you bring this into your class with the things that the students are interested, that makes really good. And there's Sumo too, that it makes songs. Some of you guys already know how to use that. So to bring more. So the goal is we need to spark that genuine interesting of students to learn again. And that is the challenge that we have. So AI can only help students as much as they are willing to help themselves. So my conclusion is it is the teacher who sets the tone when educators embrace AI. So with passion and purpose, that enthusiasm naturally it spreads to students. So you have to love AI. So but I've been to many countries and many audiences. And in the past, I was trying to convince teachers that AI was not going to replace them. I don't do that anymore because now teachers know they start liking AI more. But you have to become super fan of AI, and every day you should learn a tool and test it. So AI is here to stay, but it should never replace our thinking. Instead, let's making our intelligence as a study partner. And the other thing, tell your students, encourage them to use, but don't just snap and upload and copy pictures. That is not gonna work. You have to use your discern. You have to tell your students to talk back and question. So, and most important, keep the dialogue open with your students. They're going to use it, and you have to monitor. Remember the learning process? You have to monitor with evaluation, with exams, with homework, so you see, because otherwise we're going to live in this illusion of teaching and illusion of learning, So anyway, like I said, the sky is not the limit. Your mind is. So I have this is the book I have written about. Real teachers do still need them to learn foreign language. And also this is my autobiography describing a little bit about everything in my career. So, okay, thank you very much. I took a little bit longer. I tried to be as fast as I could. Thank you. Yeah, and Afar, the plate. I want to give you the plate. Where's the plate? Since I'm here, so I don't need to go back here. And I wanted to take this opportunity to give to Afar. I need you guys to applaud Afar. Thank you, thank you. Afar has been, okay, I need a microphone, so come over. Afar has been my partner since 2018. Afar has been and is one of our best partners in the world. He has dedicated his life to it, and that's why we are here. I'm very proud to have you, as you call me, brother. And that's the second time he gets this. Yeah, as one of the best centers of the world. We have 60 centers in the world, so he managed to get it. So thank you very much. Thank you. So where's the picture? I was waiting for the picture. Come here.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, welcome back. Happy to see you back. I think you have enjoyed your tea, coffee, you have got energy. So, because we are now having more interesting parts ahead. So, I would like to share one interesting fact which I've read the other day actually. It says children ask more or less 300 questions a day, and in that case it's important to just pay attention to what question to ask, no, how to keep their curiosity just alive. Now we have a very interesting session which is called Engaging Young Learners Through Playing, Storytelling and Creativity in the ESL Classroom. And I would like to invite Miss Theodora Bogiou from the Excellence in Greece. Okay.
What I was working on, and I'm going to skip the introductions about myself because I will allow my actions to talk about me, okay? I appreciate the time. So what I was working on with the students, I could see that I cannot intervene and support the parents so much. So during the lockdown, I thought, why don't I introduce something online so the parents can join with the 3 to 6 year olds and they can learn something together. But how do I keep the parents engaged and how can I teach them at the same time was the question mark for me. So I just allowed it to happen, just knowing that we can put lots of wings onto our 20, 18-year-olds or 15-year-olds, like add them lots of courses and CPD, but nothing is going to happen. They're not going to fly unless they have the right roots. And when can young ones grow roots? It's before the age of 7, because this is the age that every student just absorbs information as if it's their reality. This is the imprint period. So when the parents say, "You are my princess," they believe it. When they say, "Santa Claus is coming," they believe it. When they say, "You are dumb," they believe it. "You're a brick," this is what they say in Greece. "My son is a brick," they listen, they believe it. So it's really important for the parents to understand what to say and what not to say in front of their kids. That's why I started working on this. And the only way to train the parents and not push them away is not to patronize them and to say, "I know some things and you need to learn from me," but make them believe it's their own idea. The same way I teach my students, they have to believe it's their own idea. Otherwise, nothing goes in them. Learning happens only when I need it for myself, when I like it. So this is how I started working with the parents. And now I have a reflection question for you. I want you to reflect and say, maybe take notes. What is one area in your teaching practice that you would like to reimagine? Just think of an idea, think of something. Just take 10 seconds.
Competency for production.
Production?
Now those franchising books, giving this responsibility to the teachers because language is changing from culture to culture. You cannot teach one culture tailored book to a different specific nation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of collaborative teaching. It's taking the load upon your shoulders, sharing this equally with the students.
Okay.
It's not a monologue like the GTN thing. It's a dialogue.
Yes. You have a very beautiful question, and your question is going to be answered. Maybe not by me, but because you have the question, you're going to have an answer really soon. This is how answers and solutions come, when we raise questions. When we don't raise questions and we just take everything for granted and say, this is how they taught it to me at the university or in this course, then you don't expect any answers, right? But when you raise questions and you have doubts about what's happening in your teaching practice, then you're ready for an answer, and the answer is going to come. So today is your lucky day. You're going to be inspired to get an answer for whatever question you have been looking for whatever answer. So first, can you, let's watch this. So, have you ever found yourself, can we stop it? Have you ever found yourself in a situation like this? As the sheep or as the farmer? As the sheep, somebody is a farmer for us, trying to save us from some difficulty, and we jump into the next ditch, right? But at the same time, we try to save our students so they don't make mistakes. And in the next lesson, in the next 5 minutes, they make another mistake. And we say, I've just been talking about this for so many times. And this, doesn't? Yes? What about this? What's happening? Can you play it again, maybe? It's the same thing, nothing. What's happening? At what phase do you think this is happening for the bird? Right after? Right after it flies off the nest? And, right? This is the first phase right after the mom stops feeding the baby birds, right? But how long do you think the baby bird is just going to be waiting like this for the worm to jump in? More than 24 hours? More than 48 hours? No, right? It's a survival issue. But what's happening in our homes today? What's happening? The babies never get off the nest. They grow older and somebody is feeding them. First with food, then with information, then this is your clothes, then this is your bag, then just rush, I'm going to tie your shoes, then I'm going to button your jacket, and it never stops. So the kid is left like this instead of the age of 3 or 4. It's left like this at the age of 18, right? And then it's expected to do everything that it hadn't done, it was supposed to do for 15 years, it's expected to do at the age of 18. And they say, why don't you do it? You're 18, you're supposed to know how to choose shoes. You're supposed to know how to choose a partner. But I've never chosen anything. How am I supposed to learn now? And the physical reaction is to start learning from the age of 18 onwards. But it takes time. It's gonna take maybe 10 years. So we are delaying the maturity of our kids. Of course, we are doing the best we can for them, right? At every moment. But we are delaying, we are hindering their development. So my work has been my passion because I'm originally in EFL, English as a Foreign Language, and this is all my programs about. But then I just turned into well-being. How can I merge well-being into everything I'm doing so that I'm not only building their cognitive capacity, their academic abilities, but also their behavior, their character, their values. So I saw myself as a person who could do it for them. And I took on the role that I wasn't supposed to take, and now my mission is to build this spark into every teacher. Because AI is going to take over the academic part, and we will have ample of space for the behavioral part, the value system that we can build, so we can build their character. And companies now hire for character and they train for skills. Anybody can train you for skill set if you have the character. If you don't have the character, nobody is going to keep you. You will be getting jobs, but not being able to stay there, to sustain them. So agency is what we are going to do to work on, because I think this is the key element that is missing. Like parents, without wanting, are hindering kids, are stealing their agency, without, of course, wanting it. So, are you ready to go for a walk in the forest with me? Yes. Okay. So now, how am I going to do it? I'm going to stay here. And let's go for a walk in the... Now it's off? This is off? Okay. Yes. All right, because I need to use my hands at the same time. All right, so let's go for a walk in the forest with me. But listen. Listen. Can you help me? What is it? It's raining. Yes, it's raining. Yes, can you follow me? It's raining. Yes. Now listen. Has it stopped? Look. Look outside the window. Can you look outside the window? Look. Look. Yes, it has stopped. Has it? Okay, let's everybody stand up. Everybody, let's stand up and let's go for a walk. Now? Okay, now? Yes. Let's go for a walk in the forest. Let's go, let's go. But no, wait, wait. We forgot to put... Why? No? Okay. We forgot to put our shoes on. Let's look for our shoes. Look for your shoes. Where are they? Where are they? Look around. Where are your shoes? Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay, let's put our shoes on. Let's put them on. Let's tie our shoes. It's turning off. Yeah. It's turning off. Yeah, like battery. Okay, are you ready to go? Yes. Let's go. Oh no, wait. Let's find our mom's shoes. Let's find our mom's shoes. Let's look for your mom's shoes. Where are they? That's worse. Look for the shoes. Where are they? Where are they? Okay, yes, there. Help your mom put your shoes on. Help your mom put your shoes on. Help her. Yes. And help your mom tie the laces. Can you help your mom tie the laces? Okay. Yes. Are we ready to go to the forest? Yes, let's go. Oh no, we forgot to put our coat. Yes, let's put our coat on. Let's put our coat on. Okay, does your mom have her coat?
Yes.
Yes? Where is it? Find your mom's coat and help her put it on. Help your mom put her coat on and zip it up. Help your mom. Yes. Okay, let's go to the forest. Are we ready now? Let's go. Oh, no, wait. We forgot our umbrella, yes. Okay, and this can go on and on, right? So I want you now to go for a walk in the forest. We are ready to go for a walk in the forest, and I want you to look for a treasure. Okay, everybody finds a treasure, and you hide it. You hide it, you don't show it to anybody else, okay? Just walk around and find the treasure. Just take a walk for 20 seconds. Let's move around. Can you? I can't share it. Abby?
Tell she knows she's good.
Can you show everybody? Everybody has to take one small piece like this.
That's what you were
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Can you help me? Like everybody has to take one small piece. Just give it around. Yeah, pass it on. Okay, look for the treasure. Did you find the treasure? Did you? No? So we are giving you a piece of foil, and I want you to use it to decorate your treasure or create your treasure with the piece of foil. Like everybody should get one small piece of foil, okay? Get anything out of it?
I'll ask for your hand.
Let me see here.
You don't have a treasure yet? Let me see your treasure. It's diamond. Oh, it's your lucky day. Wow. All right. Why did you choose this? Share with your partner. Why did you choose this diamond? Share. Share with your partner. Wow. Wow, it's your lucky day. It's your lucky day. Talk about it. Why did you choose? Why did you choose this?
Because he's not seeing me.
Wow.
I think it's
We have got a lot of treasures. Look,
wow, it's your lucky day. Wow.
There's the flame,
The
from
flame.
Azerbaijan.
You found the flame.
I found the flame and I gave it to her.
Wow.
And she gave me the bone. So
You
I can
shared your treasure.
I did. You
That's
forced
so
me. I wanted to
generous.
keep it. But you
That's
know,
so
I gave to this lovely
generous.
person. So
I lost
What we need. Exactly. Thank you, Evie. Okay. It has started raining. You have to come back home. Come back. It's raining. Come back home. Okay. Okay. Shh. Let's come back home. Let's go back home. So does this treasure mean something to you? Yes? Yes. This is what we needed, right? And how did the treasure make you feel? Happy. But it's just a piece of aluminum foil, right? Who made you feel happy? the foil, the experience, right? And who built the experience? We built the experience. It wasn't my idea. How long can this activity go on? For how long can it go on? Exactly. Like who built the content of the activity? When I said let's go to the forest, but wait, who built the content? Yes, our students build the content. And when do I stop? When I say, okay, enough, let's go to the forest now. When I choose, or when my students choose, right? This content can be expanded for as much I want, right? It wasn't my idea. How did the student who said code, and I said, yes, code, how do you think that student felt? It's my idea, right? So the moment they say code, and I say yes, they say, oh, now it's my idea. Now it's my activity. Now it's their own. When you said umbrella, and I said yes, as if this is the word I was looking for, again, you said this is my idea. I'm building. Like the teacher is waiting for my answer, and I got it right. But are there wrong answers? No, right? Isn't it what our students need right now? Not to be patronized, not to be like this is wrong and this is right. So let's build activities that have no black and white answers, yes or no answers, but everything is the correct answer. When the student says, we forgot our fork. Yes, we forgot our fork. Okay, this is the word that the student remembered, right? So another question. Do your crafts look the same? Can we find two crafts in here that look the same? No, right? What do the worksheets or the crafts we usually do look like? Isn't everything one photocopy? Everything is the same background, for example, and then we say the students' creativity, like color it, and they use their own colors. But is that creativity? The photocopies? No, right? So what we need to do is give them the material, which can be cheap as that, simple as that, quick as that, and have them create their own world with just aluminum foil, just paper tissue, just a blanket, just a towel, right? Anything can become material that my students can build the craft on, and once they build the craft, whose is the craft now? It's theirs. The moment it's theirs, learning happens because it's theirs. It's my idea to go to the forest. It's my idea to get to the forest in this way, to dress up this way. How did you feel now when you helped your mom put your shoes on? How did you feel? Proud, yes. So, what happens when mom says, I'm going to put your shoes on so we are not late? What are we robbing them of? Energy, responsibility, confidence, pride, let alone helping mom do it because she's in a hurry. So I'm going to help you put your shoes on, mom. I'm going to help you put your coat on. This is how we build agency in every kid. And it should start at the age of 3, not at the age of 18. it's not going to start well. It's not going to have a great start. So, I don't know how much time I have. What? So this is the model I'm using for teaching and well-being practices. What happened is, did I explain what we're going to do, that now we're going to the forest and we're going to find the treasure and we're going to do this and that? No, I didn't do any pre-frame. I just invited you to go to the forest, right? So first we had the experience. Then what did we do? Then we explored. What happened? How did I feel helping my mom? I felt proud. How did I feel finding the treasure? I felt happy. So then we explored. And now, can I forget? Will you forget? Will you throw away the aluminum foil? The diamond? The ring? Will you throw it away? Probably not, right? Because now it's yours. It's your energy in there. Your thought is in there. So now I can embed. Now my brain is ready to let it all in and remember it forever. And I was wondering, is this how we learn anything in life? For example, we are 1 year old, 2 years old, and the mom says, don't go to the oven, you're going to get burned. Don't go to the oven, you're going to get every day the same thing. And one day, mom looks around, and I go to the oven, I get burned. The next day, what do? Do I go to the oven again? No, I know, cold, hot, I don't go to the oven again. So this is how we learn anything in life. How do we expect students to learn the other way? How was education built in another way? This is my question for today, and this is what I'm exploring and finding answers for. So first we experience, then we explore what happened, then we remember. Nobody can take it out of my head after that. So always remember this when you build activities, either with AI or without AI, just give the experience first and then let things happen. So my quest has been on how do I bring the parent in, and whatever you're going to see from now on, can you give me a time frame? How much time do I have? I do? 10 minutes, okay, thank you. Okay. So everything you see about parents, it applies to teachers if you're training teachers, and it applies to students if you're training students, whatever age. My students are aged 3 to 17. I know that most of you maybe are getting trained for adults, but for me it's young ones. So I have been trying to involve the parents in the learning process, but by making it theirs. Because I know if the parents are involved in the learning process, everybody wins. I win, my students win, they win. So we're going to just quickly run through the parent framework. But if you're not interested in working with parents, just take all this information for your students or for your colleagues who you're training. So what happened first? Do you remember the first 2 videos? Can you forget them? So this is how I attracted your focused attention. And the moment I attracted your focused attention, where my attention goes, learning starts. So your learning started when I focused your attention by interrupting patterns. So one thing to get your students' focused attention is by introducing something new, like foil or a towels. Today we're going to do a lesson with our shoes or with our towels. Surprise element, like the video I showed you. You didn't expect to see something like that, so everybody's attention was here. And with non-verbal cues, like eyebrow flash or nodding. All these are elements that can help your students and bring their attention. You don't even need to say anything. You just need to be able to invite them with body language and certain cues, that's a part of a longer training, and get their presence, get them present. Same happens for colleagues, when we're training colleagues, same happens when we're having the parents in a training session. Now, we're going to spend some time here in the craft and explore a little bit more, because I consider it very important part, very important element of any class, of any lesson. There should be some kind of craft. There should be some kind of me, the student, in the lesson. And the only way to bring the student in the lesson is to engage their hands, like fine motor skills, and their eyes and ears, all right, so that they can get as much from it. So it's structured play. I build the structure, they don't know. They think that they have built the lesson, right? I just elicit and move them to whatever answer I want them to answer, but I don't give them the answers. So the craft could be anything simple, anything, like when I involve the parents, the craft should be complicated enough for the student to need the parent, and simple enough for the student not to quit and the parent not do it themselves when it's involved parents. When it's only students, again, it should be complicated enough so that there is a challenge, but simple enough so that they don't quit. So you need to find a balance between those two. So the craft. This is the bridge for me between the heart, the mind, and the hands, to engage all of the senses. It was that simple, it was that cheap for me to engage everybody here, right, with one piece of aluminum foil. Do you know how long, can you imagine how long this could take in your class? Like, give me time frame. From an hour? Anybody else?
You can allocate it as like one class.
Yes. One term. One term. It could take one term. Just one craft. You can build around it and build more crafts around it and build a story and and even publish a storybook on Amazon as a final outcome of this craft, right? So what happens with the craft? They build confidence. And I'm talking about 3- and 4-year-olds, right? This is where we should start. If you don't have access to these students of that age, like start later, but still do everything as if they're really young ones. They will get engaged. So confidence, this means I can do it. Did you feel that you could do it? Did you feel at any moment that I cannot find the treasure? No, right? Did you feel I cannot create something from the aluminum foil? No. So this empowerment is the starting point. This is where everything starts. Then, agency. I crafted it with my own hands. And you look at everybody else and you see everybody is doing something different. So that makes you feel, what? Unique. Yes, unique. I'm unique. I'm special. And then I can describe it. So when I start building on the craft, the next step is to ask the student to describe it effectively. In the beginning, they might not be able to describe it, but later on, the more you talk about it, like if I asked you to share with another partner, share with another partner. What would happen after 5 or 10 minutes? Would you share the same things? No, at the same time I'm listening to my partner describing theirs, so the next time I find another partner, I have another layer to describe my craft. And then at the end of it, I have built a story around it. It depends on if you're using L1, if you're teaching it for L1 or for L2. Then the next phase would be to show it, right? I'm proud to show it. And the final phase is to present it and do public speaking. So when I have explored with 5 or 10 classmates, aren't I ready to present it, as in public speaking? Do I need to remember words? Do I need a script to remember? Do I need AI to tell me what you see so I can present it in class, so I can put it as homework? No, right? It's mine. I will tell you what it means. You don't know, I know. So then I do public speaking without me realizing I'm doing public speaking. Make sense? And this can happen with every lesson with a different craft or the same craft. It doesn't have to be different every time. So just quickly to move on so I can wrap up. What's also important is frequency over quantity. We need to know that when a student doesn't remember something after 5 or 10 minutes, we need to stop and repeat after 1 day, 3 hours, 6 hours. This is something the parents need to know, because they believe that if I put you down there, you will learn everything by 8 p.m. and we just shut them down, right? And the conflict builds up in the family, and relationships get worse without reason, just because the parents don't know that learning doesn't happen by quantity, it happens by frequency. And repetition, and beat synchronization. So like tapping like this is very helpful for the kids' attention to start focusing on something so that learning can start. And in this activity, in this picture, we can see the parents doing. Can you see how the kids mirror the parents? This happens at every moment, not only when the teacher says touch your mouth or touch your ears. This happens at every moment. The kids are mirroring whatever we are doing and whatever we are saying, they're mirroring us. If I'm saying like this, be kind to your friends, and I'm angry, what do you think the kid is going to listen? Be kind to your friends? No, right? They are going to see my face, and this is what they're going to take. So it should build on the muscle memory, and I've noticed with whenever I do a training for myself and I'm trying to learn something, first is that my body remembers it, and then my brain remembers it. So this is what I'm bringing into my classes as well. It should be multisensory, like the more senses, the best, and metaphors. And parents need to remember. Yes, I use metaphors like this, for example, to explain that there are some parents that come to us and say, my kid doesn't remember present simple. Or I ask them what is a ruler and they don't remember. It's like asking the kid, like in class we've been building this huge castle with Lego bricks, and it's as if you're asking the kid, just give me the blue brick, so I know that you learned how to build the castle. And but the kid has to pull down the whole castle to give you the answer. And it cannot. Because in class, we have been building it around so many other experiences and context. And out of context, the kid cannot answer you this question to prove they've learned something, right? So the parents need to know. Needs and co-regulation is a totally different story, but we need to know our needs and why we say what we say. And then the next step would be to understand our students' needs. And the last one is safety. If the kid doesn't feel safe, if the kid feels threatened, they will never learn anything. So the moment you feel that you have pressured your students like a little bit more, you need to instantly take a break, relax their nervous system, lower their cortisol levels, and then bring them into learning again. If you leave them on their own, it might take 7 hours. Cortisol doesn't go just like that. It might take 7 hours to be flushed out. So we need to have practices and techniques to lower the cortisol levels really quickly, because we are in class. We cannot wait for 7 hours, even if we know it. And consistency. The students will feel safe if what I'm saying is the rule every day. And a rule not in the sense that I'm the authority and you have to follow me, but in the sense that we have decided this together. Okay? So just remember that whenever you go into class, if your student didn't blossom today, maybe it wasn't their faulty brain, maybe it was the environment. So I didn't build the right environment for them to flourish, to blossom. Okay, so maybe I should go back home and do some reflective practices and decide what changes I'm going to make tomorrow so that they feel that this is my garden and I can grow there. Same goes for us. If you didn't blossom today in your class, don't go back home and criticize yourself. Just change the environment. So a child's struggle is not a signal that something is wrong with the brain. It's just that their environment is not conducive enough for this brain, for this kid to flourish. Always remember this. Don't put the blame. It's easy to put the blame on the parents and the kids, but what is my role? Like, come back to your present and see, how can I grow? How can I become a better person, not teacher? You're not going to be a teacher every day, most probably, because you might decide to change careers at some point. How do I become a better person because I see this kid throwing a tantrum right now in front of me? Okay? So, final reflection, and I'm closing. I think I'm on time. Thank you, Par. So just remember, out of what we said and did today, what is something that will stick with you moving forward? And you can use this with real stick, rock, and leaves in your classes. What is something that rocked your world out of everything we did? And what is a message you're going to leave with your colleagues, your students, their parents, yourself, with me, if you want to share? So this is my QR. I guess we are going to share it as well. If you want to ask for references or anything, like I have free courses, free downloadable PDFs, you can always email me, and I'm happy to support you. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
This is my process.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, now our next session is just explores a truly dynamic way of teaching, because through drama and creative way. I'm thrilled to welcome Karydi from I Learn Towers Foreign Language Center in Greece. And her session is going to be teaching beyond words drama as a methodology in the ESL.
Yes. So, hello everyone. Should I be using this? I think I should be using this. I will be standing here for just the first 3 slides, and then I will be moving, okay? And before I start, I would like us to make a deal. Will you help me deliver a workshop today? Yes? Because I'm here to have a workshop with you, which means that we need to work together, but I need your help for that. So can we make that deal now?
Yes, let's see.
Can you say, yes, let's? Yes. Say it like you mean it. Yes, let's? Okay, okay. All right, so the clicker is here. Okay, that's me. Okay, that's Evi Karydi, me. And I've been an EFL teacher for 29 years. And I've been a school owner for 25 years. And for the last 15 years, I have been experimenting with more creative teaching approaches, including educational drama and storytelling, oral storytelling, not story reading. And along the way, I've seen the results of these approaches, of these different kind of teaching approaches in my students, in my classes, and in myself as an educator. I've seen myself change as a person, change as a teacher, and in a nutshell, become a better version of Evi in any aspect. And I have seen the results in my students, and that's why I cannot go back to the old Evi, to the old Evi educator, to how I used to teach. So today I thank Afar for the opportunity to share these experiences of mine with you and create an experience with you in this room. And it's going to be challenging because it's not a room appropriate for a workshop. You're seated, but we'll do our best. Yes? Yes, let's. Good. And now, my school is I Learn. It's called I Learn, but within my exploration and experimentation, and allow me to share something with you, I usually call my students my guinea pigs in the good sense, because I experiment. My school is my laboratory, and we experiment with my students. So I have created Drum Activate, which is what I want to do. I want to activate my students through drama and storytelling. So what is Drum Activate? It's not a methodology, but it's a creative teaching approach. It's a combination of all the drama training and storytelling training that I've had, and how I've filtered it and shifted everything in order to serve the needs of my students. And that's all you'll get as far as blah, blah, blah is concerned. Now, we started with checking our energy in the morning by clapping, okay? Today, right now, we're going to recheck our energy level. And I really need to see how I'm going to do this. I would like to invite you to stand up. And if this is a 10, the highest energy, and the floor is a 0, and your belly button is a 5, so that would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where does your energy lie right now on the count of 3? Just show. You don't have to say something. 1, 2, 3.
0.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And thank you. And you can relax. Which is quite understandable because we started pretty early, a long time ago. So let's try to recalibrate our energy by doing something simple. And it has to do with one of the things that Theodora mentioned before, tapping. So you're supposed to be using both hands, but I won't be able because I'm holding the microphone, okay? So let's start by tapping. So repeat after me. Do what I do and say what I say. Nice and easy. Tap, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 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 Both hands. Tap, 2, 3, 4. 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 Tap, 2. Tap, 2. Tap, 2. Tap, 2. Tap, 2. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Let me get some water. So that would recalibrate your focus and your energy. Do you feel a bit more energetic now? Yeah. Okay, good. So, since we are at the point of tapping, we'll keep tapping. And I don't know, I need someone to be holding the microphone. Oh, we could have this, yeah. Because I need my hands. So, we'll keep on tapping on our laps with both hands. And now I'm going to sing a song. So let's tap in rhythm. You can count to 8 silently. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. 8 icky icicles. 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 Purple peanut butter. 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 Teeny tiny toast. 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 Keep tapping and listen to me. Keep tapping and listen to me. Keep tapping and listen to me. Put your purple peanut butter on your teeny tiny toast. Put your purple peanut butter on your teeny tiny toast. Put your purple peanut butter on your teeny tiny toast. Put your purple peanut butter on your teeny tiny toast. Well done. Congratulations. You may sit down. Thank you. I'll take that with me. Ta-da-da. Okay. So that was a combo of tongue twisters and pronunciation activities in a playful way. Okay? How did that feel? Did it feel okay? Yes? Did it feel strange? Yes? Did it feel silly? Yes, it should. It should feel silly. Okay. What do we have here? Okay. My session is drama and storytelling. And as we've made the deal from earlier, we'll be working together. Okay? So all the activities we do in drama use what, do you think? Gestures, our body, voice, of course, and facial expressions. So we use everything we have, which we already do anyway, every day. We do that every day. We use everything we have. We carry our face with us, our body with us, right? So that's what we'll be using now. And the next activity is called Buzzy Bees. What do buzzy bees do? They buzz. Bzz. Can you buzz? Bzz. Can you fly your, move your wings as if you're buzzing? Bzz. Okay. In a while, I will ask you to stand up and buzz. You can't buzz around, but with my students, I would have them buzz in the classroom. Okay. You can buzz around on the spot. I will give you a word, and while you are buzzing, I want you to think of how you can make a statue, a freeze frame of that word when I say freeze. Okay, let me repeat. You will start buzzing, and before you start buzzing, I will call out a word. While you are buzzing, I want you to think of what can you do with your body so that you can represent that word when I call out freeze. Okay? Ready? Yes. You're not, because you're seated. We've made a deal, right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Have a look at all the buckets in the room. Good. And relax. And now, the next one is but you have to work in threes now. In threes or fours. A purse full of coins. A purse full of coins. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Freeze. Okay, well done. And relax. Okay. Now, all the words we've worked with so far are really important words for what we'll be doing in a few minutes. Okay? We need those words for a story. But do we remember the words? I wonder. Let's check if we can remember. See the teachers in you? The teachers in you have to stay quiet. Now, imagine your children, okay? So let's see if we can remember the words, and we'll do that by chanting something which goes like that. Rimini, rimini, ree. What can we be? Can you do that? Rimini, rimini, ree. What can we be? If I'm in the classroom, we go around. Rimini, rimini, ree. What can we be? So we go around in circles. We go around in circles. So we can't go around in circles. You'll go rimini, rimini, ree where you are. So rimini, rimini, ree. What can we be? Repeat. Let's all be monkeys. Be monkeys. And you don't have to be a statue. You can be a moving monkey. Yeah, okay, good. And shake that away. Shh. And one more time. Rimini, rimini, ree. Rimini, rimini, ree. What can we be? Let's all be a coin. And shake that away. And one more time. You know the drill. Come on. Let's all be a poor man. And shake that away. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. And start all over again. Let's all be trees, but in threes. In groups of three. Become trees in groups of three. And shake that away. Fantastic. And one more time. In groups of three again. Let's all be buckets. In groups of three. In threes, you have to create one bucket. One bucket. Now, so these were drama warm-ups because now we're going to move on to a story. Can everybody hear me? Okay. The story is called, listen to the title because it's really important to listen to the title of the story. Now I'm going to tell you the title. The title is Milk is for Milk and Water is for Water. Can you repeat that? Yes, okay. And you know what? Before I actually tell you the story, you have the chance to ask me 3 questions about the story. But you only have 3 questions, not each, as a group. So you need to use your questions wisely. Would you like to ask me 3 questions about the story? There are no wrong questions. So raise your hand and ask me a question. The words we've worked with are important words in the story, and now you have the title too. Sorry? Who is in the story? A poor man is in the story. That was question number 1. Where? It happened in Gaza, Palestine. Third question, is it a real story? Nobody knows. So there goes your 3 questions, okay? Now, normally at this stage, I would have my students in groups and ask them to draw on a piece of paper all the words that we have worked with. Draw the picture of a tree, a monkey, a poor man, a river, a bucket, and coins. So I would have them draw simple sketches. We won't do that now because we are pressed for time. Thank you. So, you know what? You've got all the clues you need to tell your partners, the people who are around you, what you think the story is about. You've got some clues, you've got the title, you've got the answers to the 3 questions, if you were paying attention, I don't know. And now you can talk to your partners about what you think the story is about. You don't know the story, but you can use your imagination. And I will give you 2 minutes for that. In small groups of 2, 3, 4s, talk to your partners. What do you think the story could be about? Use your time to to use your imagination, okay? So I hope you've shared a couple of ideas. Usually I would give my students 5 minutes for this task. I always use a timer, but in this way I hand the story to the imagination of the students before I actually tell them the story, and then they get set. They get fixed into the story, but I allow them to use their imagination and work in groups to exchange ideas. So I would allow 5 minutes for that. And then what I would do, which we cannot do now, is send an ambassador from each group to another group to tell their group's version of the story, so they can exchange ideas of what my group thought of that. What did your group think? So I would send an ambassador. So all these are pre-storytelling activities which involve imagination and speaking on the part of the students. Okay? Now, I heard this story from Hala in Gaza in 2024. I heard it online at the Word Storytelling Cafe. And this is a story that Hala shared. She was 17 back then. And she shared this story as part of the stories she was told by her grandmother. So it's an oral story, it's not written, okay? And this is what Hala said. That's how she started the story, to answer your question. She started, there was and there was not once a milk seller in Gaza. So maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. You know, and should I tell you the story? Do you want to hear the story? What's the title of the story? Okay, so when I say story, story, you have to shout back. Tell us a story. Story, story. Story, story. Okay, that's better. So, there was and there was not once a milk seller in Gaza. Yeah, I will take that now. And every day, he would leave his house carrying one bucket full of fresh, creamy, delicious milk. And let's try something. Let's put our finger in the bucket of milk and stir it. Yeah. Is it nice and creamy? It is. Is it delicious? We don't know. Let's try it. It's delicious. It is. Fresh, creamy, delicious milk. And he would take that bucket of milk to the market in the city and he would sell that milk. And he wasn't a rich man. He was poor. He made just enough to live with his family. But, you know, as he would sell his milk, he would see the other sellers selling their products, their produce, and they were making more money than him. And look over there, he looked over there, can you look? Some people had a donkey. And look over there, some people had a cart. And if you look far behind the market, some people had a donkey and a cart. And he didn't have anything. He just made enough money to feed himself and his family. So he thought, there must be a way that I could make more money. At this moment, I would like you to think of a way that if he asked for your advice, how could he make more money? Think it, don't say it, just think of one way. Don't talk about it, just think of one way that you would suggest he used to make more money if he asked you, if he ever asked you. So on that day, on his way back home, as he usually did, he sat by a tree near the river, and then he had many ideas crossing his mind about how he would make more money. What are the ideas? Now you may speak. Yes. Okay, so sorry to interrupt you. At this point, I would have my students stand up and walk around me as passing thoughts. Passing thoughts. Could you do that? Could I ask you to stand up and walk around me and speak your idea as you walk around me and you go back to your place?
You could buy some fruits, like banana, and make a milkshake out of it, and sell for a few more dollars and make a profit.
One more idea.
I would double the amount of milk by putting the water in the milk, so I would have double. And then I would, instead of having 2 gallons of milk, I'll have 4, and then it'll be even healthier.
So that would be another idea. Another idea? Let's go for a third idea. Yes.
He would create interesting story related with how this milk was packed into the bottles, how it was sold, and how it was carried to the market.
Thank you very much. So So I would have the students walk around me as passing thoughts, telling me their ideas. So he went back home, and the next day, when he left his house, instead of one bucket, he was carrying 2 buckets. 2 buckets. And as he passed by the river, he stopped and he placed the buckets on the ground. And then he looked to the left. Is anybody coming? Can you check? Is anybody coming? No. And then he looked to the right. Is anybody coming? And when nobody was coming, the buckets were not full to the brim. They were half full. So he poured some fresh water from the river into the buckets. And he carried the 2 full buckets of diluted milk. Now the milk wasn't creamy, it was diluted with water. And he took the buckets to the market and he sold the milk to his loyal customers who would buy from him every day. He had loyal customers who would buy from him every day, so he sold the diluted milk to his loyal customers. And at the end of the day, he started counting the coins, and to his surprise, he had double the money of what he would normally make. And he was so happy, he said, oh my God, if I do that tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and next week and next month and next year, I will be rich and I will be able to do all the things that I can't do. I will be able to do all these things. So he started walking back home, and as he usually did, he stopped by the river and sat under the tree. And he sat there and he closed his eyes, holding his purse and dreaming of everything he would do, everything, all the things he would buy, all the places he would visit, and everything he would do with this new money. Up in the tree, there lived a monkey. And being a cheeky monkey, it climbed down the tree, snatched the purse, and climbed up the tree again, holding the purse full of coins. The milk seller was shocked. He stood up and he said, bring me back my purse. Do you think the monkey heard? No. So he tried again. Can you try with me? Can you stand up and say with me, bring me back my purse? But how did he feel? Did he feel happy? Angry. Can you stand up and repeat it in an angry voice? And make your body look angry and your face look angry and your voice look angry. So on the count of 3, what is the phrase? Bring me back my purse. 1, 2, 3. Bring me back my purse. Can you get more angry? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. You may sit. Did the monkey care? What do you think? Not at all. The monkey kept holding the purse and going, so it took out 1 coin from the purse and it dropped the coin on the ground, doink. And it took another coin from the purse and it dropped it into the river, plop. So, yeah, cheeky monkey. So this half of the room, can you do the doink sound as the coin touches the ground? And this half, can you do the plop sound as the coin falls into the river? So it took another coin and dropped it on the ground, doink, and another one into the river. Plop. You go plop. And another one. Until the purse was empty, and when the purse was totally empty, the monkey threw it on the ground, and the milk seller what did he do? He wanted to collect the coins. So he started collecting the coins, and I do that with the kids. I asked them to collect the coins with me. And he took the coins and he started counting them because he wanted to put them back into the purse. And he started counting and counting and counting. And when he had put all the coins into the purse, he realized that he had exactly the same amount of money that he would normally make on any regular day. And that milk seller said, oh, that cheeky monkey taught me a lesson. Milk is for milk, and water is for water. And Hala said that this is a phrase that they use in Gaza in Palestine as a reminder that honesty is the best policy. And thank you for joining me in recreating the story. Is there someone who had heard this story before? No? Okay, good. Now, where are we time-wise? Is someone keeping track of time? I have to finish? Oh my God. Okay. And there's a long list of post-storytelling activities, drama activities, which we cannot do because we have run out of time, but that was a way of using drama techniques with storytelling to tell this, a shared story with our students. So invite the students to tell the story with you, and after that, what we've just done, I would ask the students to, again in groups of 2 or in pairs or in groups of 3, I would have them retell the story the way they remember it, but as a group. So whatever someone cannot remember, their partners would help with. Now, I don't know if you have any questions. Okay. Do you think this is something that could be transferred, easily transferred to your classes? Yes. Okay. Do you think your students would be involved? Would they be interested? Yes. But let me give you a small piece of advice, if I'm in a position to give any advice to anyone. You need to believe it yourself. I mean, when you ask your students to do such stuff, you need to be demonstrating. Not just telling them, stand up and do this. Why would they do it? I mean, you need to do it first and demonstrate, or do it with them, and do it as if you like it. If you don't like it, pretend that you like it, and you need to pour some heart into it. And then the students will follow, because if you start with lukewarm water, temperature, the student's response will be cold. So if my energy is there, my student's energy is usually here. A bit lower, but still, because I'm high in energy, they follow. If I start here, they start from here. And if I start from here, they start from the bottom. So keep that in mind. Okay? Thank you very much.
Participation. Students plan a charity event in groups. Input, output, I'm going to outcome, timing, focus. You're going to have the PDF file of this presentation, and this presentation is done in Prezi, if you're wondering what it is. It's in prezi.com. And content source, you can do the skills also with the task-based teaching and the complexity. So the task cycle, this is what we are going to do today. I believe most of you have done TESOL, right? Yeah, lovely. So we have pre-task, task, post-task. There is one PPP that we have, which is you present, you produce, and then you practice, right? In TESOL courses, I think you were introduced to ESA, engage, study, and activate. That's exactly the same thing. You do the pre-task, you engage the students, you do the task, and then you do the post-task. Oh, that's the question. Do you have this question or not? Vocabulary or grammar first? Just imagine I'm going to do something. You know, let me tell you something. Today we're going to make a task, but should I give you the words? Should I teach you the grammar? Should I give you a model dialogue? What do you think? Yeah?
Right. Give a vocabulary and give a time,
Mhm.
minimum number of words, like we do in multiplication problem exam, we do.
Okay.
So if
For EAP you do?
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you give the task in the way of vocabulary,
Okay.
you can double tick the hippocampus of student.
All right, yeah, you're right.
During the task, he doesn't feel aligned to the current task.
Yes. Well, that is correct, but again, it depends on the context and the level of the students. This is all. This has nothing to offer. Why should I teach 2 lessons, 3 lessons, I don't know, in one session? This is kind of a challenge that we need to do collaboration. In task-based, if one school wants to have this policy of task-based language teaching inside the school, they need to cooperate. The management, the schools, the parents, the teachers, everybody needs to cooperate. But we can use the book. You can create tasks out of the book. I told you, teaching can be easy, teaching can be difficult. The easy way is that you go up there and you show off your knowledge. The difficult way is that you prepare yourself. Please do not go to the classrooms unprepared. You have high responsibilities on your shoulders. You're creating the future. One thing we do across the globe, we are trying to create global citizens. And with cultural fluency and language, there are 2 things that everybody needs to learn. One is management, one is languages. And what better than English language? Everybody can communicate through the language. But it's not enough. You need to learn the culture also. So, back to what I told you. You should be responsible towards what you are going to do in the classroom. So if you go unprepared once, it's okay. If you go unprepared twice, if you can put it out, I know, you're smart enough, you can just teach, and you have some ideas. But try to create tasks. Try to create tasks as many as you can. In the last slides, I will explain to you that we also have one department which is a research hub. I personally welcome all the tasks. There is another institution, it's called, if I'm not mistaken, IATDLT, International Association of Task-Based Language Teaching. They have created a task bank where you can upload and download. You can upload the task that you have created, and they can also download the task if you need it for your classroom. You got an exercise, you don't know what to do. Add gaps, add outcomes, add interaction, and build a cycle. Then you got yourself a task. Okay, you're going to do it today. That PPP that you present, you practice, and you produce can change the task cycles also. But I have nothing against PPP. That works, that can work, both can work. But task cycles for communication and for communicative purposes, I recommend. Adapting the traditional presentation practice production model into a task cycle can create a more interactive and engaging learning environment and making lessons more effective. Taskification and to taskify is something that you are already doing. You may not know it, but you're already doing it in your classrooms. When you walk up to the classroom and you say, okay, today we are going to talk about, one of the students comes in and says, hey, this week I'm going to go on a trip to, I don't know, suburbs of the city. And then you tell them, okay, let's talk about this. Then you put them in groups, and then they speak, and then they write a plan, they write a schedule. They write everything about it, the plans that they have, so you created a task. That's what I told you. Teachers are already doing it. So most of those communicative twists that you bring in your classroom, the pair works, the pre-shaped, the reshaped PPP, and the teacher agency, as you talked about, the teacher agency also matters, teacher autonomy. Okay, and this again sometimes goes against the policies of the language school. I understand. We can talk for hours about only that teacher agency and the real engine of change. The problems are over-explaining. TTT, as you know, you should switch to quality talking time. Removing choice, that causes trouble. Turning tasks into exercises because you want to make it easy. And lack of defined outcomes. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing yourself. You go into the classroom, you don't know what the page is about, you just open it, you read it like a reading page, and then at the end of the page, at the end of the classroom, you understand, oh shit, excuse my... So that was something that I was supposed to do. And for your next class, you know what to do. Okay, that's why I'm saying don't go unprepared. And restore the gap, restore the task. The low prep taskification is change a drill to joint decision, change reading to student questions, change matching to group clues, and change the small tweaks into real tasks. The weak task is that, okay, discuss your opinions. It's divergent. Everybody says something. But the strong task tells you, okay, choose your top 3. Lead them. Before taskification, talk about how you feel. But when you taskify, you can categorize the feelings with your students. They can come up with adjectives. You can read those adjectives for the sake of pronunciation. They can exchange ideas. For example, somebody feels sad, somebody feels happy. Depending on the levels, you can add some words, the vocabulary that the gentleman said. And then you can create a chart. You can create a chart, for example, about happiness and unhappiness. You have a chart now. And then you can use apps. There are many apps, ChatGPT, one, Hume AI, for example. And then you can offer strategies to, for example, today I'm not feeling too well. I'm feeling a bit sick. Maybe that's the reason why I'm not feeling okay also mentally. Or last night I had a problem with my brother. So they talk, and they have to talk, they have to produce the language. It's not like, talk about how you feel. As teachers, I'm always telling you, never rely on the feedback of the students. What do students do when they even do? Did you understand? What do? They always not. Okay? So this is the feedback. What's the solution to the feedback? Elicitation. Okay? Classroom realities. Now we have motivated learners and we have motivated teachers. I know among us there are some teachers that they have been teaching for 20 years. A new teacher comes into the office and he steals the show. You know why? Because he's open to change or she's open to change. We do the same thing for 20 years and we call ourselves experienced teachers. That's not experience. That's just the repetition of the same thing over 20 years. The proficiency, the private sector innovation, private sectors now, you just travel and you will see. There are many schools, language schools, private schools, they are doing great jobs. Even in those places that you cannot even think about. Another challenge that we all have is the exam, because at the end of the semester, there are exams that you need to give the students, and at the same time, sometimes you're not allowed to fail students. Students should pass, money should come in, business should grow. See? They all come in hand. That's why we say progress requires collaboration between teachers and the managers. This is what I told you about the global TBLT task bank. I am willing to receive any task that you, if you're willing to share. We have a platform of our own. We can just share your tasks in our platform also. The final takeaways are the tasks are real communication. Textbooks use them as TBLT resources, and TBLT is adaptable, and collaboration is essential. And that's what I said at the beginning. It's still a strong blame. You cannot go beyond grammar. You know, you're going beyond grammar doesn't mean that the real learning occurs. But yeah, that's what's happening now. So these are the references. You will have the PDF file, and I say here, thank you for tasking. So there is another thing. I'm not done. I'm not done. I had a problem last month. I never thought that I'm going to have a workshop, so we always have lots of teaching aids with us. I thought it's just a speech. So the only teaching aid I have is this. Do you know what it is? This is something medical I have to put. So this is the vocabulary I'm going to teach, okay? Because this is a light vocabulary. This is maybe you know, it's a finger splint, okay? I have a ruptured ligament, okay? You don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened. I shouldn't tell you how it happened. So this is the gap, all right? So now I want you in groups of 2, 3, 4, I don't know, just, you can be sitting, you can be standing up, you choose. Just try to create a task, and at the end, I want one person or two people to do the role model. It can be a friend to a friend conversation. But what happened? I have a ruptured ligament, okay? What happened? How did it happen? And then give some advice. Or you can you can create a conversation between a patient and a doctor. What the doctor tells the patient. I give you like 3 minutes, okay? I think that's enough. Working groups, create a task. I gave you just, the pre-task is that I gave you the thoughts, I introduced what you're going to do. You should do a lot of ICQs, instruction checking questions, but we are not doing it now because you're already teachers. So, the finger, something happened to it, you don't know what happened, you're going to figure out what happened, and you're going to come up with some advice if there are two friends speaking to one another. If there's a patient and a doctor, then you know how it's going to end. So, 3 minutes, please. And I need 2 volunteers at the end. What's your name? Naeem? Naeem. Now I know. And then Naeem and the doctor. Okay?
Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Well, here's a story of how Mehdi ended up with a
Ruptured
ligament. Well, not a long time ago, he was in Bali doing business. And on his lunch break, he decided after lunch to have a banana. Yeah. And as he was peeling the banana to eat the banana, a cheeky monkey comes down from the street. Yeah? And grabbed the monkey. Yes, yeah. Yeah. And the banana. Okay. And tried to grab the banana, but the Mehdi wouldn't leave the banana. So the monkey kept dragging the finger to get the banana, but Mehdi would fight back, and then the monkey dragged him again, and that's how he ended up.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You know what happened? You know what? I still am going to need you guys, all right? You know what they did? They mixed the storytelling and the drama with task-based language teaching. And thank you for the acts. That was awesome. This is a bit difficult. I don't know if I can pull it off in my own classes, just to ask the students to do the drama at the same time. We can expect something much easier. Yeah, but this was brilliant. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Naeem, please. And the doctor.
Yeah, so it's a story how I cut my finger, and he's my friend in the dark. Hello, can you hear me?
One day, Niall is coming early, and he wanted to prepare dinner for his family. And he immediately went to the kitchen and take a knife and some vegetables. It was his first attempt, actually. Then he cut his finger, and I am his friend, and also I'm a doctor. And now he's calling me. Yes.
Yes.
La 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 la. You are calling me. La 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 la. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I am in the middle of something. What
Okay, so listen, I got my finger while I was like cutting a pickle. So what should I tell me?
I said that you are not a good chief. Why are you going to do this? Okay, please take a clean cloth and pressure it on your finger. Immediately do it. Immediately do it.
and till 2 or 3 minutes, I don't know. And then you can go to the bathroom and you can clean your finger with clean water.
There's
What
no
are you
water.
going to do?
But there's no water. What should I do?
I go to the bathroom.
Anyways, alright. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom,
Yes.
clean my hand,
Yes.
blood, and apply something.
No, just on the water. Clean it with water, rinse it with water.
Okay.
Okay, do it. I'm going.
It is now clean, so what should I do next?
Okay, take a bandage and put it your finger.
Okay.
But I don't see you. Maybe you can open your video.
So
And I see what you are going to do.
it is my thing.
Okay, great, great. Put the bandage right on your finger, please.
How should I do right?
Okay, you can do it like this. Let me skip from and you do it like this. Okay, great.
Is it good?
Great, yes, great. And if you have time, come to my hospital.
No, I don't have time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, appreciate it. There's a question. No? What is that? Story, you want to come on? Yes, please. One question before the gentleman starts. Imagine you're a teacher. Should you do, no, please come. Should you do error correction as they do the dialogue?
Why dialogue? No, after dialogue.
How?
It's kind of a small sketch. You
Okay.
can read it in a written text or input conference like hearing.
Okay.
You can connect. They are
So you're the teacher. What are you going to do? They're speaking, the two of them, okay?
not by
After. So while they're speaking, I think you should take notes. You should take notes, you will forget. Yeah, or? You need to be very, very careful with, we don't call it error correction anymore, we call it error treatment. So sometimes, maybe you walk on the board and just write the sentences, the correct one, and some correct sentences, some incorrect sentences, and you can choose. So they will know. And not right after they sat down. I let this gentleman tell the story, so I have a collection of mistakes and errors. So I choose several of them, I put it on the board. Still, it's debatable also, but that's one way. But thank you for not correcting the mistakes. Yes.
By the way, this is exactly I take notes. I take notes like on the board.
Yeah, you do?
While my students speak, I take some notes, like especially vocabulary.
You write the
some
correct
grammar.
sentences on the
No, just incorrect, like maybe like they mispronounce something. So I just take some notes for myself. Sorry. I speak up. That's why like I don't need microphones.
So my question is, why don't you write the correct sentences also?
Because like I need to show students when did they make mistakes, then like I will be like showing them the correct way of saying or like.
We need 5 days to speak about this one also.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Please.
Unfortunately, in my team there is only me. Some of my friends were like too smart and like too bold to stick here.
Yeah. It takes courage.
Yes. So one day, Mehdi decided to visit Azerbaijan for a conference, but he had no time to pack his luggage. So he was on a t-shirt. Unfortunately, it was rainy season in Baku. So once he arrived in Azerbaijan airport, he started feeling cool. And unfortunately, his wallet was even at home, so he didn't have any money. He had to go to the hotel on foot. So from the airport to the hotel, it took him about 2 hours on plane. He was shaking, but still not giving up. once he arrived in the hotel, he had a phone, so he called like his family. They sent some money from his wallet. And in the evening, he had fever. So he decided to treat himself first before approaching to a doctor or like calling ambulance. For his like, I don't know, like advantage, there was a lemon in the fridge. So he decided to make black tea with lemon. Unfortunately, as he was shaking while slicing the lemon, he cut his finger too. So then like he started shaking even more because he's afraid of blood. And he had no choice of like other than calling the ambulance. And ambulance arrived in about 10 minutes. And he started complaining about his health problems. But the only medicine, the only help the doctors gave him was Zargari. So they just like, I don't know how to explain it, like they showed the first medical aid and gave the Roger? Like, is it like a batch? Splint. So then like, just a moment. So like he started feeling alright, but like he had forgotten his fever. Just he complained only about the bleeding finger. So once the doctors went back, he remembered of his fever. Unfortunately, the doctor said like everything will be alright. Keep slicing the lemons.
Thank you so much. I'm lucky I'm alive at the end of that story. It didn't kill me. So, what really happened to my finger?
Now I have fever.
Now you have fever. Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah. No, but the thing is, now you see how engaged your students can become with task-based language teaching. This is a conference, and we have like 2-3 candidates. In a classroom, you will have everybody. They want to talk about what happened. But just for your information, ligament is something that keeps the bones to one another. I didn't cut my finger. So I'm a car freak, and I always keep my cars too clean. I was cleaning the tires at every hole. The car twisted, I twisted my finger. That's what happened. And I have to keep it in the split for 6 months, but I'm not following the doctor's advice. So, back to TBLT. Thank you for tasking. Thank you for today. Thank you for the organizers and everyone here. Thank you for coming up. Yes.
What's your favorite car?
Sorry?
Your favorite car?
My favorite car? It's a Lexus.
So thank you so much. It was really interesting dialogues and actual scene. Now we are coming to the creative part of teaching English. Now I would like to invite Miss Jacqueline Kathleen, ESL and drama teacher at British School in Baku.
Okay, so the creative approaches, actually, having listened to so many of the speakers already, most of them have been very creative. Even the task just now, depending on how you took it, was creative. So I think, yes, that's my topic, but I also think we almost integrate it into our lessons a lot more than we might think or that we might already know. Let's check. Okay, so just to give you a very, very brief outline of what I'm going to be covering. Firstly, who am I? Facts and evidence. So for me, I think, yes, we want to try and implement these things into our teaching, but why? What's the value of it? And who has said that we need to do these things? And sometimes it's good to look back at those, even though they might have been a while ago, just to make sure that we really validate what we're doing and how we're doing it. I've got some ideas as well that you can implement. Again, I wasn't going to do a task-based, it was going to be just a speech, so I've got some ideas I can share, but then, yeah, no interaction just yet, which kind of goes against my speech as well. but we'll figure that out. And assess effectiveness, okay? We're not perfect all the time. We figure it out sometimes as we go. So I think we also need to not be afraid to try things and assess the evaluate the effectiveness of it. So if it wasn't effective, how can we then change it? How can we make it more effective? So very, very briefly, because we don't need to know too much about me. I was born in the Netherlands, but I actually grew up in Dubai. So even though I sound very English, I am not. I also did some studies in the UK. So actually I went to boarding school in the UK when I was 16. This is where I picked up the British English accent. I did a performing arts course in the UK. So this is where my creative side comes from. I did that as background. Also, English is my second language. Having now met the speakers as well, I think almost everybody's English is their second language. Just because it is, doesn't mean that you're hindered in any way, because we've all stood here, we've all managed to give our speeches and give our presentations. So there is the outlook, there is the end in sight. Currently, I am a teacher at the British School in Baku, so I'm actually based here. So it's nice to meet people that are actually in Azerbaijan as well, alongside people that are coming over for this conference. Yeah, that's enough about me. No more. No more necessary. Okay, so just to engage, as we have been talking about, think for a moment about something new that you have learnt recently. It could be a skill, a piece of technology, or even a recipe. So 30 seconds, think about something that you have learnt recently. Could be, could be anything. So, once you've got that thought in mind, how did you learn it? Did you read about it? Did you watch someone else do it? Or did you try it yourself? Does anyone want to share? Or I'll go first. I'll share mine first. So my example is I enjoy baking. What did I learn? I learned how to make a lemon cake. So what did I do? I watched it on YouTube first. But how did I get better at it? By trying it myself. First one, not so successful. Not great. Second one, third one, fourth one, got better. Okay. Does anyone else have any of their thoughts that they said, oh, this is what I've learnt? What have you learnt recently?
One of my kids really likes drawing, and he keeps asking me to do something like a copra or predator or anybody. So today in the morning, he was trying to draw a Komodo dragon, but yesterday I tried to draw him a predator. So how do I learn it? I looked at YouTube. So I saw the sketches,
yep.
And then I started doing my own sketches and I then presented.
Then you presented. So again, it was that you looked at someone else, looked at another example, looked at it, then practiced it, and then was able to get it better. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I looked at music.
Okay.
Yeah, so once I went to my brother's house, I saw him doing the same thing. I thought, what is he doing? And I tried it myself. It was
okay, so the point being, again, you tried it yourself and then thought, oh, actually, this might work. Okay, so the learning pyramid. I'm hopeful that most of you as educators know about it. It's from a while ago, okay? The cone of experience. Again, there is no one method. I'm not saying this is the perfect way. It's just a way that works with creativity. Again, there's so many educators, so many ways in which the best people have said, this is the way you should teach, that's the way it should go. But it also depends on the students you have. It very much depends on the type of teacher you are. So, this was first, the cone of experience was first created by the educator Edgar Dale, but it was from the 1940s, so it was a little while ago. It was then further developed into the learning pyramid. Here you see percentages, so 5% down to 90%, okay? They are referring to the different learning methods. So, I want you to have a think. We've got demonstration, teaching others, practice doing, lecture, audio-visual, discussion, and reading. Have a think about which learning methods you would place in the pyramid. So thinking about the 5%, so 5% of people learn in this method. Then down to 90% of people learn in this method. Have a think about which way round you would put it. What would you put at the top? What would you put at the bottom? And then if you've done that already, have a think about why you might want to do that. Why that learning teaching method is at the top or at the bottom. Teach others. At the 5% people learn that way or 90%?
90% because, maybe for college I'm not talking about it, but whatever the field class is the motivation testing. Motivation is about external internal. Teaching others would bring you external motivation, which means limits. So I started teaching others. Then lecture and demonstration. Demonstration might kind of, other language, gestures, telling jokes, or doing something, playing stuff, cinema.
Okay. Shall we have a look at what the learning pyramid supposedly says? Teaching others and practice doing are the way in which people learn the most. If I look at the examples that we both gave from the audience and from myself, okay, yes, we might have found a demonstration, we might have seen it in audio or visual, but how did I get better at baking my lemon cake? By practice doing it and then teaching others. And I think this ties very nicely in with the other two ladies that did their...
I'm sorry. Your case is very important for me. So let me ask you, when you learn to lemon cake, did you shadow, did you concentrate content?
Did I what, sorry?
Did you use shadow technique or did you concentrate content, how to make it?
Shared it or...
Because you see the other person, the terms of...
So the practice doing was me practicing the cake again and again and again to make it better, but then sharing it with others, so it's others' opinions as well. So sharing it with other people on how to build my cake would also help me know which ingredients needed to be better or needed to change. Does that make sense? No? Yeah? No, it's okay. It's all good. So funnily enough, lecture is probably the least way people learn, yet that's what I'm doing today. But then it was a speech, so this is where we're at. Okay, so yes, the focus being down at the bottom. So I think this ties in also with Mehdi's example earlier, where he was getting people to demonstrate the scenario. So what does this mean for teaching? Okay, so yes, we know that students learn, or the majority of people learn well by practicing doing or teaching others. So how does that look in our classroom? So we know that not one size fits all. It is tailored. Once you then start implementing these ideas, you then have to tailor them to your class or to your teaching style as well. So, increased action-based teaching. Again, it's not something you can do all the time, but it's something you can definitely integrate into your lessons. It allows students to develop language, collaboration, and communication. So, if it's action-based, you've got people getting up, it's not just a case of sitting down and writing. You've got deeper understanding of information. So interaction, it encourages students to ask questions, to seek clarification, and actively participate in discussions. So this is what you want in order to try and assess their knowledge and their understanding as well. And lastly, development of key life skills, because essentially when we're teaching them, when we're teaching students, we want to set them up, we want to give them the best possible skills for life beyond school. So critical thinking, research, articulation and resilience, and tolerance and respect. So these are some of the things that this type of teaching would encourage your students to do. Okay, how do I do this? So we know why we need to do it. We know kind of in some sense what we're doing, but how does it look in our classroom and what kind of examples could we use for it? Below, there are going to be 2 examples of techniques you can implement into your lessons, which will encourage students to practice doing. So one being role play. I'm not the first person to have said this today. However, I think the one thing that I think does get forgotten, especially in secondary school. You think, oh, they're secondary school students, they don't want to role play anymore. I think, yes, with younger students, 100%. Always role play, always create the forest, create the monkeys, create the trees. But then you get to secondary school and suddenly all of that is gone out the window. They do still learn that way. They're 11, they're 12, okay, yes, they're slightly older, but they do still learn in a role play manner. Just the structure of your role play changes. So you might not be in a forest, but you might give them a history example or something that is relevant more to your subject that you're teaching. The other one is mantle of the expert. Again, it's a drama technique that can be used. It is real world and imaginary world, but you are combining them together so that you become the expert. So you are providing the students with information and then they become the expert. So they become the historian or they become the biologist and they have to try and explain it, which also, again, yes, you can get them to write an essay on something from biology or even in English, but if they're acting it out, they're doing it, they're more likely to remember it. Oh. I've got my examples, yes. So with our role play, specifically in English, I said as well, I think it's kind of linked to Mehdi's as well, with working in groups, working in pairs, giving them a hotel receptionist job and the other people are coming in. So again, you're creating that conversation, you're creating that opportunity for students to practice. This could also be supplemented, so you don't just have to rely only on the students. Again, giving them a stimulus, giving them keywords that they have to use. So it completely also depends on the students that you have in front of you and kind of what level they're at. With our mantle of the expert, we also had, yes, they become experts in something. So yes, it needs pre-learning, it needs evidence beforehand where you are providing information, but then they become the experts and they teach each other. Sometimes I think as a teacher, do they always want to listen to us? They kind of get that impression of, oh, why should we? Do they know better? If they listen to each other, then I find sometimes they learn a little bit better because they're on the same level, they're on the same, they're equal in many ways. I think that's probably, I don't know how long I had, but I think it's 20 minutes or so. I think I'm good. So with our creative conclusion, I think exploring creativity, I think one of the biggest things with creativity in classes is that teachers are scared to use it. I don't think many teachers are confident enough. And sometimes that's okay because you can try it together, you can try it with your students. Don't be afraid. And again, I think, like I said at the beginning, I think you need to assess your students and see how it's going. And no one way is perfect. So if you try it out, maybe it doesn't work this way, maybe you can try it that way. This is the steps. So try it, assess it, adapt it, collaborate, find out with your partners, your colleagues, talk to each other. Somebody might have tried something, somebody might have a little bit more expertise in one area than what you're used to or what you might know. Ask each other. It's okay to ask each other. I think sometimes we're scared as teachers and we have to know the answers to everything. It's okay to ask each other. Reflect and repeat. So again, once you've reflected, maybe something you want to change. Seek support from your colleagues, and creative learning is not about perfection, but progression. So again, it doesn't mean that it has to be the best outcome straight away, but it's something that will evolve as you try it. Lastly, Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I might remember. Involve me and I learn. Just something to leave you with. I think if you're involved in it, again, there's lots of things today, I think, with what I was involved in. Will I remember that tomorrow? 100%. Hopefully you'll remember my lemon cake. Maybe then that will refer back to remembering me. So there's things that you were involved in that ends up being how you remember. And that's it. So thank you very much. It was a very short one. Yes, that'll be shared. Thank you.
So now we are coming to the next session, which is about debate, which is also my favorite one. I would like to invite Mr. Nick Noaliza, if I'm saying, I'm sorry. So an expert, I'm IB, MYP, and DP expert, and the International School of Azerbaijan. So.
Author. At some point I'm going to show you my book, but I'm an author. I have a published book. I'm a coach. I specialize on speech and debate, but I'm an economist because that's what I teach. Then I'm a PhD candidate, so I'm doing a research on world economy. So that's kind of in a nutshell who I am. I think. So today my topic will be based on argumentation. Okay, so my topic is on argumentation and content integrated learning, so a debate-based approach to ESL instruction. Okay. So I put up these pictures just to show you what I was doing last week and early this week. Okay, I just came back from Tirana. Who knows where Tirana is? Okay, Albania. And the week before, I was in Helsinki, which is Finland. So I took kids for speech and debate competitions, and then we just returned on Monday. And I'm proud to say that my team, the kids I took to Tirana, won the first prize. So that's actually a big achievement. So I wanted to put this picture just to show you some of the, like my activities. And that was us at the airport just coming back. Everybody exhausted. Even one of my kids had to hold the trophy just to make sure we don't lose it. Okay, that's how precious it was to them. That's my story. In a nutshell, the top corner photo is me when I did my one and only TED Talk. It's on YouTube, you can go see it. I talked about why it's good to be an outlier. So because I believe that everyone is unique in your own different ways, so you can go check that out. That's a picture of my two older kids. That's me doing some other presentation, my book signing. And then I am a big part of the Rotary Club. So again, for those who know Rotary Club. Now, overview, what I'm going to be doing today. The session basically will explore what structural argumentation is, because I'm a believer in debate, and also having to have debate in the classroom, because that's another way where students can learn. Again, I teach structured debating, but then debate can be in any form. But then even for ESL, in ESL classroom, just as a way of getting kids engaged and involved in English learning. Then we're going to, so basically I'll try to go through why argumentation in ESL. Then we talk about content integrated learning, a debate-based model. That's the part where I will emphasize more on, just to teach you how to create that in the classroom. Then we will talk about some of the themes or topics you can use in setting up these debates. And then I'll give you, help, kind of tips on what are the different forms of debate formats you can use in your classroom. And then I'll leave you with just a sample lesson flow. It's a quick one, but you can always adapt it in your classroom. So, why argumentation in ESL? Okay. I want to start with this, okay? It's a very quick exercise. I'll get you all to stand up in a little while, but I'll tell you what to do. Okay, I'm going to put up a prompt. It's a prompt for today. So let's assume you do not have experience in debating, or, like you have experience, but I just told you that this is a prompt of debate that we're going to use, right? The prompt is that every teacher should apply modern methodologies in ESL classrooms. Do you guys recognize that title? Do you recognize the debate prompt? No? It's basically what we're doing today, right? So, what I'll ask you to do is stand up, find a partner, just pair with a partner. Look at it, here's the instruction. You and your partner, you each have 30 seconds to speak. Okay, so again, in debate, because it's structured, there's timing. So make sure you time yourself. You can use your phone just for 30 seconds with that prompt. But try to remember what your partner said, okay? So the prompt is every teacher should apply modern methodology in ESL. Face a partner, 30 seconds, you give your own point, and then the other person says yes, okay? So let's begin now. Stand up, everyone, find a partner. Okay, so you may be seated. I'm sure you've all had time to talk. Okay, you can sit now. Okay, we're going to come back to that prompt again. Okay, at the end of my presentation, we'll come back to that prompt again, and then we'll revise it, and then with the added information you have, you'll see how well you do better with the prompt. Okay. So, why content learning? Why is it important to integrate content into learning? And by content, I mean. So by content. Sorry, can we just, I know it's the last period of the class. Let's just give me your last 15 minutes, okay? So, content learning, because we integrate content into learning, it encourages authentic use of languages. Why? Because what debate does in the classroom, it creates for spontaneous learning. And I think most of our speakers have said something of creativity. So when you engage students spontaneously, you see, you're not only helping them to remember the things they know, but then they're instantly finding a way to put it in practice. Okay, and that's the advantage of integrating content into learning. And then it builds background knowledge, like I said. So because it's spontaneous, you're helping them to go back into their residual knowledge and use whatever vocabulary or whatever skills or the things they've learned before, and then try to use them in practice. And that's what debate does. Now, debate also helps, and that's one important part I want to mention, because I'm going to go back, I'll get to the slide where we talk about the topics you can use in your debate. Now, because, and I speak from experience, and also because I teach economics, but to higher level students, I use debates a lot in my classroom. And what does that do? Most times, those debate topics are framed around what is happening globally. So you use global events or global topics to frame the debate prompts. And with that, you're not only helping kids build specific vocabularies for those events, but then you're also creating awareness for them. Because while the debate, take for instance, if we pick one global issue right now,
for example, if a school is applying English as a medium of instruction, can we call this school?
Sorry, can you do what?
For example, if the medium of instruction of a school is English, can we call this a clear?
Can you call it what?
Clear.
Clear? Yeah. Why not?
Math, geography.
Anything. It can be anything. Okay? And that's why it's relevant. Okay? And that's why I keep pointing to the fact that even though I'm an economics specialist, but still debate is something that is useful in my classroom. And then it also helps in terms of building specific vocabularies. Okay? Again, like I said, it connects children to real-world issues. It makes them familiar with not just English as a learning medium, but it also helps build awareness of global issues. Now, debate-based ESL model. What does that look like? Last year, I took a Harvard course on how to argue. And that's kind of the model I'm presenting to you. Just from what, again, I coincided it, I'm not giving you everything, but from the Harvard course I took, which is on how to argue, this was what was developed in Harvard, just a debate-based ESL model. So it's called the Integrated Reading, Speaking, Listening, and Writing form of debates, right? Now, it goes from having the input. Now, what does input mean? So from input, then you help the students go to the argument construction, and then to the debate itself, and the last part is the reflection. Now, with the input, what you're trying to do is that you're introducing students, even now you can use this for different levels of English students. It doesn't matter if it's, even the very basics or to advanced students. The vocabulary that they know is what they will be using in that debate. So irrespective of what the topic is, again, some teachers might be asking, can my students debate anything on a global topic, migration? But why not? Because even at the very elementary level, students, they still have a vocabulary that they can associate with migration. At an elementary level, a student might see migration just as a form of traveling or moving from one place to another. Okay, that's very elementary. Or migration might be just grandpa or home. Grandpa lives in another country, or there's a home in another location. But now, as you build up that vocabulary, for a kid that is more advanced, now they start thinking of migration based on things like push factor, pull factor, forced migration. So again, the debate format, using the debate-based ESL model, helps you reach kids at whatever level of English vocabulary that they're familiar with. So that's what the input talks about. Then the next step is the argument construction. Now, in the class, what I do is, again, it comes from modeling. I know one of our speakers talked about that. But then you basically create for them, or in some cases, provide to them the starting, maybe it's called the starter word, or you give them a format. Now, as someone who teaches structured debate, I help my students understand that with every prompt, there's something called, again, just to simplify, a positive and a negative form of argument. But then, as an advanced student, you might say an affirmative or a rebuttal. So all of those things are what you help students to understand. And that's basically the argument construction. To know that if you are in support of a prompt, whatever you're saying should be you agreeing with that statement. If you're not in support of the prompt, whatever you're going to be thinking or whatever reasoning you're providing should be you speaking against that prompt. Just by bare helping the students understand this in terms of, I'm going to be thinking, my reasoning has to be just based on me agreeing. And then there's also the other part where I can disagree. Okay, then it creates for them that imagery of what I should be thinking. Okay, more like a direction. Now, the next thing is now the debate itself. Because, again, it's once they know the basic, as teachers sometimes, one of the mistakes we do is that we always think that we should have a topic before we even think about debating. But however, you can prepare students for debate and then the topic might come. Sometimes the topic can even come from among the students. I ask them, what do you want us to talk about today? They give me topics and then we pick one and we talk about it. Or, again, what I do in my class, there's a news, I come across a news, I take a clip of it, just a headline, and it's something that is happening that is relatable. So you take that clip, okay, now we don't have newspaper cuttings, but then you can screenshot things and use it on your computer, and that becomes a prompt for the debate. As long as the students, they've understood, again, like I said, the vocabulary is based probably from their residual knowledge, the things that they've learned before, the things that they know, and then they know the form of the argument itself, how to construct an argument, then the debate will come. Because now with the debate, it helps students practice that vocabulary. Okay? And then the last part, which is also very important as teachers, is the reflection part of it. Because most times, we allow, and for any of you who have practiced debating in your classroom, sometimes you let the students debate, you let them talk about these issues, but then you do not give time for them to reflect on the learning. And reflection is very important. And then what does reflection do? It helps them go back to write down what they remember. And by writing down what they remember, now it helps, I think one of the speakers said something about embedding. I don't remember. I heard that was embed. Okay. Yeah, I think you did 3 things, yeah. So now it helps create that embedding where whatever you're learning becomes solidified. So reflection is very important. You encourage them to write reflections. Maybe at the point when they were debating, they picked up a new vocabulary from the other student or from their partner. Now it's time to write about it. So what's something new you heard? What is something new that you didn't know before, and now you've heard it from someone else? Now, debating format, this is me saying if the debate was just, now there are different types of debate, I think I put it up there. If it's just a mini Oxford type of debate, then that's when they can reflect individually. But however, there are different ways you can debate. You can create a carousel form of debate where they're moving around. So once you've spoken to a partner, you move to another partner, and then you share again the same opinion. Now you're adding the new information that you've picked from just talking to one partner and then going to one partner. Now the way I normally do it, I can start with a 1 minute per debate, and then when you go to the next partner, I increase it. Now you have to have like a 2 minutes. Now it gives you opportunity to speak longer, and then you keep moving on until then we all come back together and then reflect. Okay, so that's basically what the debate-based ESL model talks about, going from the input, the argument construction, debate itself, and reflection. Again, like I said, this is a whole big, it's a whole big study, but I'm just kind of just shortening it for today's purpose. Now, how do you select an appropriate theme in terms of the topic? Where do these prompts come from? In your classroom, even if you have nowhere to start from, just think about something like the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. There's a lot of topics there's a lot of topics you can pull out from that. Things like hunger, I don't know, gender equality, climate change, migration, life on water, life in sea, I don't know, partnership. All of those things are global topics that you can use in your classroom. And like I said, it doesn't matter the level or the age grade that you have, you can always use this. Now, as a teacher, it's left to you to modify it or to adapt it to the learning, to the learners that you have in front of you. Again, I talk about migration and identity, economic inequalities, climate and environment, peace and conflict. These are all different topics that you can adopt in your classroom. Now, simple debate formats. I think I've mentioned the mini Oxford one. I talked about Carousel. But these are, like different debate formats that you can think about, or you can adapt in your classroom. Think pair debate. You give them time to think. You put them in pairs, which is basically what I tried to do at the beginning. Although I didn't allow you time to think, but I used the time of explaining what you should do, and then you paired, and then you debated. And then there's a carousel debate where students can move around. Again, for some, you can always adapt this thing based on your classroom. Sometimes I just set up stations, and then I ask students to move around, and then based on those stations, you sit, and then whoever is in front of you, you just debate them based on the topic that is on the table. Okay, so that can be something you can adapt in your classroom. Then the mini Oxford style, that's more structured, and this is for more advanced students. And then the last one is evidence card debates. In this one, sometimes they have the facts with them, and then they use those facts to debate. Okay, these are all different formats, different ways that you can bring debating into your classroom. Okay, and any of these, depending on the level of the student, you can always find a way to adapt them. Okay, I always tell teachers, don't go for the mini Oxford style because that's more structured. It takes a whole lot of time to get prepared into that. But the other ones you can easily just do in a classroom, okay, based on whatever lesson you're teaching. And then the last one is 30 seconds micro debate, okay, which is what I try to do right now. Yes. I'm almost coming to an end. While debating, it's always important that you also teach the how to have respectful dialogue. One, because most times when you let the dialogue just flow without without creating boundaries, then it goes just beyond having a meaningful learning process, and then it becomes something outside of that. So I think it's up to teachers to help students understand that dialogues or debating can be very respectful. So students can learn words, like find words and phrases to use, and then with that, they support their whatever debate that is happening. I want to quickly finish up. Okay, these are all sentence starters. I don't want to go through all the slides. Everything that is in the slides, I have actually talked about it. Okay, but I think at some point you might get these slides for those who want it. Let's finish up with this exercise. So back to our prompt, original prompt. Now, if you're debating without supporting, and this is what I tell my students. Everyone can have a debate, but if you don't support whatever you're saying with evidence, then you're not making a valid argument. So, no, you have the point. The evidence comes from you supporting with your knowledge, the things you know, and then justifying why my evidence or the facts that I'm providing creates whatever consequences. I'll give you an example. So if we go back to our prompt, every teacher should apply modern methodology in the ESL classroom. We're going to repeat the same exercise that we did in the beginning. You will be saying, I believe, okay, I'm explaining what the task will be, right? So you start with I believe, Then you replace the prompt into the X because. Now, the because comes from everything you've heard us say today. Okay, think of whatever you remember that any of the speakers has mentioned today. So that's the evidence. Okay, and I'll call two random people to come up, and then you will repeat that. And as the judges would be one of us to say, oh yes, I mentioned that today, or I didn't mention that today. Okay, sorry? So we'll first do a little exercise, and then you'll come and then just tell us, like, I believe every teacher should apply modern methodology because it can be more than one, at least two evidence based on what you've heard today. Therefore, you tell us why, like what will be the outcome. When you apply these things, using these evidences, this is what will happen in your classroom. Is the task clear? Should I repeat it? Did you all get the task? You're all quiet. It means you didn't get it. If you got it, thumbs up. If you got the task. Okay, it seems majority got it. Okay, so now that's what we'll do. Okay, let's stand up again. Let's stand up again. The same partner. Go back to the first, think of the first debate, the first argument, or whatever you had. Now replace that with this. Now think about, I believe, the prompt, then evidence, and then what will be the outcome. So begin. So while we're still standing, I'm going to ask for two pairs. Two pairs, like come with your pair. So I just need two pairs of, can two volunteers come up? Two volunteers. Yeah, come on. Where's your pair? No, you need to have a partner. Who did you work with? You need to have a partner. Okay, that's good. Does everyone want to join us?
Come on, be active.
Yes, go please. Okay. So remember, these are the judges. They're going to judge just to verify your evidences. Be sure you're saying the right thing. Okay, so let's say something. See that there's a prize. Okay, so now listen. I didn't ask them to have. Let's assume that everyone is on the positive side of the argument. So I didn't want the negative side of the argument. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's go.
Actually, my sentence is related about the learning styles, as I remember the speaker. I
because every learner has their own learning style. Therefore, I observe the students before I teach them. Actually, as I remember the speaker, I forget the name, Jacqueline or what? I forgot the British school. Yes, I'm sorry. She talks about the stage of learning, like practical learning, teaching by others, visual learning, as I remember. So for this, I said this sentence.
Okay, thank you. Yes, this can we clap for? Don't remember because you're going to say second.
So my sentence is related with the first one, actually. Every teacher should apply modern methodologies in the ESL classroom.
It's not, I believe.
Yeah, I would. Okay. So I believe not every teacher should apply modern methodologies in the ESL classroom because every student has their own needs and their needs differ. That's why they shouldn't have the same method for every student. Therefore, students may have chance to choose whether they want modern methodologies or not. As I mentioned, it depends on the student's need.
Actually, we have someone here who is challenging something that was said today. Okay? Yes.
I believe that every teacher should apply modern methodologies in the ESL classroom because it increases the level of motivation and engagement in the classroom. Therefore, I observed in my teaching practice that students become an active part of learning, not just passive listener.
Yeah, I believe every teacher should apply modern methodologies in the ESL classroom because the more the younger students are, they need some interest in their lessons. If we go traditional way, just teaching grammar, vocabulary, that's it, they're not going to learn. They need to speak. They need to understand the lesson. They need to understand it by heart. So, and therefore, I saw from my classmates that when I teach them with ESL methodologies, with modern ones, sorry, they understand me more than my own teachers.
Wait. Judges, did anyone capture what was said today? They all ate? Thank you very much. Okay, just to finish up, guys. This is I wanted to leave you with what what I call a sample lesson flow on how to use argument debate in the classroom. Again, this is a sample lesson flow that you can use. You can adapt it in your own classroom. Now, my title, the debate is: should national governments prioritize economic growth over environmental protection? Now, that's for advanced students, but again, you can always adapt it in your own way. Instead of saying, should national government prioritize economic growth over environmental protection, you can always say, should Azerbaijan, you can limit it, should Azerbaijan focus on I don't know, find any environmental issue, and rather than or should Azerbaijan focus more on people having more food than, like flooding? You can always readapt it based on the learners in front of you. Okay? Now, the objective is you're helping them build their language skills. Then you're also helping them develop the content. So how to understand specific content. And that's based on the topic. Because every vocabulary they will be using will be specific for that topic. So the topic will always change based on the range of, like the themes I gave you. It could be on migration, on the climate change, on gender, anything. Then, again, this can help you in terms of step-to-step on how to create this lesson or how to use it. You can start with a warm-up. Then you introduce vocabulary and frames, especially even for young learners. You give them the vocabulary they can be using. Then you help them create which is basically the input. Then you help them construct the argument in terms of what words they should be using, like I just did, the I believe statement. Or in terms of I think and however, words like that. So use any of the debate format that I talked about. Then reflection is important, like I said, because again, if after the debate they do not reflect, you don't give them opportunity to retain or to kind of for whatever they learned for it to stay, right? That's correct. That's correct. Okay. Then you can always differentiate it, like I said, based on the learners in front of you. So, in conclusion, these are important points you should remember from today. Debate strengthens language plus thinking. Like I said, most times when it's spontaneous, then it helps them think. And when they are thinking, they're thinking on the knowledge they already have. Then it helps deepen their understanding of global issues. Like I just said, then it creates a framework across every ESL level. So it's something you can use at any level. So finally, that's my contact. You can always reach me if you want. I think I'm across different social media platforms. You can ask questions. You can be part of any of my class if you reach out. So that's basically that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. So we are going to have a panel discussion, but after coffee break. So we are going to what? Yes. So we are going to the break at 4:15 p.m. We are going to be back for panel discussion. Thank you so much.